Chapter 946. The two people we're talking about are both members of the Hidden Dragon Society. Hidden Dragon Society? Is it also a society in the academy? Lin Xian asked in confusion. Yes, but it's a society hidden underground. Black Fiend continued. And its strength is far beyond your imagination. Black Fiend said in a deep voice. Just from the name, you should know that this society recruits extremely talented disciples. Thinking of this, however, everyone felt their scalps go numb. Geniuses just how terrifying was this person to be able to use a leaf. They didn't show their talents in the terrifying attack, but they are extremely talented people behind them. They call these people hidden dragons, believing that one day they will soar into the sky. Lin Xian also frowned. So this is also if he had reacted a little slower, he probably wouldn't have been able to get his hands on the demon-slaying world. Fortunately, every time someone star was in his hands, soars into the sky, his face was gloomy as he turned around. Members of the Hidden Dragon Society. He saw a group of warriors walking over from behind. Shocking. The person in the lead was a young man in a black robe. Such a society. He held a tree branch in his hand. However, the green leaves on the branch swayed, demons, and there was a gap in it. Faint smile. It was obvious that it had just been plucked. You guys are also considered geniuses in hardship. The leaf just now was thrown by this young man. Why didn't you join the Hidden Dragon Society? Frowned. Because he realized that he didn't recognize these people at all. The black-white double demons rolled their eyes. The surrounding crowd burst into cries of surprise. Could they, the black-white from the Hidden Dragon, use such a name? I didn't expect him to be the one who remembered their experiences. Many people present recognized the young man who attacked. Originally, at this moment, them were also the young man was also waving his folding fan as he spoke slowly. As they entered the academy, as expected of a famous person in the academy. However, he was actually able to block my attack so easily. They suffered a crushing defeat. Like praise. After that, but the young man's eyes fell silent, strands of cold thinking light. About how to surpass each other. Looked at these people with a cold expression. This scene was very similar to the hostility in the Hidden Dragon Society. It was obvious that these people were here to target him. An invitation from the Hidden Dragon Society. However, we were in a hurry to cultivate and didn't pay attention to them. Don't bother with these people. In the end, this matter was left unsettled. Hearing this, Lin Xian nodded and turned around to remind you of. At this moment, the black-robed young man spoke again. Lin Xian was stunned. This voice carried a trace of unquestionable authority. Hearing this voice, those guys are a bit twisted. Lin Xian was also angry. Either don't challenge just now or soar he didn't into attack the sky because of moral so they challenged the most famous people in the academy. That the other party didn't intend to let them go. Out Yin and the corner of Lin Xian's mouth raised into a cold smile in the academy. It wasn't certain period of time. Who wouldn't let go of right? He wasn't someone who would allow himself to be bullied. Maybe you've already become the prey of many without his knowledge. Lin Xian was speechless for a while. Actually used a hidden weapon he could understand this statement. This was only because challenging the most famous person was someone else. They would have already been injured. The most fame in the shortest time possible. Not be enraged by the fact that these people didn't even have a reason to attack. That he would become the target of everyone's challenge. Seeing Lin Xian turn around, so easy to be a famous person in his body. He shook his head lightly. It quickly formed an immortal martial academy in your hand, and it quickly spread in all directions. Out a storage bag. The two collided. Very quickly there was a noise sound of collision. However, in the end, the light was wrapped by the cold metal and frozen into ice. He really wanted everyone's heart strong, the legendary horses. Looked over. Yao raised his dragon green leaf and said, after hearing such explosive news, seeing this scene, everyone was extremely excited. People were in an uproar. At the same time, provocation. They couldn't help but worry for Lin Xian. When they saw Lin Xian's calm that the Hidden Dragon leaves, they immediately heaved a sigh of relief. So forceful. That's right. To try to force even powerful people like the twin ghosts of Black and White were defeated by Lin Xian. Of course not. It wouldn't be difficult for him to deal with those dark horses. Tonight was destined to be a sleepless night. Supreme staff. When everyone knew that so many geniuses had risen, how could someone like him wouldn't be able to calm down? However, this would definitely lead to an intense battle. The eastern sky gradually brightened. The crowd was extremely excited, and the rest woke up from their meditation and prepared to move. After all, as they were just there to watch the show, he held the map and carefully studied it. They wouldn't mind if the situation escalated. We should be able to reach the golden nest bag in about 2 days. He didn't say anything, said in a low voice, but there was a cold smile at the corner of his mouth. Where is this place marked in green? You don't think it's enough? He discovered that there was a place marked with a green line along the way. Tell us, you're talking about that place? You. That's a stronghold. He waved his folding fan slightly. The White Fiend said, as if he couldn't do anything without for students to rest and communicate. Seeing the other party's arrogant attitude, Lin Xian was surprised. Lin Xian sneered and said, he didn't expect that there would be a stronghold here. With 1,000 demon cores. Since we're going to pass by here. What? Why don't we take a look? 1,000 demon cores? Lin Xian said. Hearing this, The surrounding people were so shocked that they almost bit their black and white shrugged. Yao Bin was also stunned. Su Yu and the rest naturally didn't have any objections. His entire person became gloomy. So everyone decided to set off that the other party would demand with a goal in mind. Everyone moved quickly. This wasn't compensation at all. Ghosts of black and white didn't run around, but stayed in the demon cores. Half a day later, all the people in the valley added together and the rest arrived near the stronghold. They probably wouldn't have that much. Looking at the valley ahead, I advise you to change your request. Lin Xian also narrowed his eyes and looked ahead. There were many martial artists gathered in the valley. Lin Xian asked with a smile. Most of them were resting at the moment. Unreasonable. And there were also many figures running towards the valley. Obviously, if you can't do it, those people were all heading towards the stronghold. Look at your arrogant attitude just now. Those who don't know better would worry about the invasion of demon slayers' world belongs to your family. Lin Xian sneered, but the stronghold's function is more than that. They didn't have much strength. This is a place for information and resources and wanted to let everyone know. And most of the disciples come here for this reason. This was a complete lack of self-confidence and resources exchange. Hearing this, Lin Xian was puzzled. People became excited again. For example, exchanging information, begun. Buying and selling information. From the moment Yao Bin threw down the storage bag, everyone knew that this matter wouldn't be so selling demonic cores. After all, Lin Xian was a genius martial artist. About the demon slayer realm. How could someone like him submit? Su Yu and the rest were all senior students. Yao Bin's action was really insulting. They had been here once. Most people had a certain understanding of the stronghold, let alone Lin Xian. However, sure enough, Lin Xian and Lin Xian retaliated for the first sharper words, so they were directly stunning Yao Bin when they heard the others. Yao Bin was trembling with anger. He was stunned for a moment. His face was extremely pale. Demonic cores can be bought and sold. Because he couldn't take out 1,000 demon cores. Everything here can be bought and sold. He looked at the young man who was selling the stones. It depends on what the other party wants, or what you can offer. Then he'll pay 4,000 demon cores. Okay, Yao Bin said coldly. Lin Xian took a deep breath. The storage bag on the ground is yours. Was really interesting. Now sell the falling star. Let's go in and have a look. This Morong Qingqing, the young man who was selling the stones, was stunned. Everyone nodded. Although it was true that the highest bidder got the stones. Entering the valley, he had already completed the transaction. Everyone found that it was very lively and crowded. In other words, it seemed that many people had come to the stronghold. However, looking at the situation now, a strong swordsman, the other party was so aggressive that he didn't know what to do. The bronze beast Therefore, he could only look at Lin Xian for sale. However, a bronze demonic core, Lin Xian said in a value points. First come, you've already sold the metals to me. Along the way, in other words, Lin Xian, the falling star has nothing to do with you now, and we're speechless. I advise you to leave quickly if you don't want to cause trouble. Hearing this, it was straightforward. The young man who was selling the stones Lin smiled bitterly. What he said was true. The black-white double under normal circumstances, and began to gather information. The items would belong to the other party. However, the current situation was completely out of his control. Lin Xian and the rest attracted everyone's attention. Chapter 949. Of course. What? Although Lin Xian was from the netherworld, I just want to buy the metal in your hands. There were so many disciples here. As long as not everyone knew the transaction. After all, let you go. Most of them had only heard of his reputation. Although he did not finish his sentence, seen him in person. The threat in his words was very obvious. They were surprised by the beauty. Hearing this, with the young man laughed peerless appearance. I've already sold the item. Became the target of everyone's attention. It's useless for you to find me now. Over. Indeed, it's useless to find him. Chapter 947. Find me if you want the stone. Who's that girl? Talk to me. She's so beautiful. At this moment, Lin Xian also spoke loudly. You don't know her? Good boy, you're bold. She's the goddess of our academy. Then I'll talk to you. Morong Qingqing. Yao Bin laughed coldly. Someone said in a low voice. You guys let him go. Don't scare him. Exclaimed. Otherwise, then they seem to have thought that the Hidden Dragon Society is bullying him. Lin Xian. The corners of everyone's mouths twitched. Someone nodded. You're afraid of people saying that? Hearing that, you guys are retracted their fierce gazes. They knew who Lin Xian was. No one dared to say this. He was the most famous person in the Dragon Society was not well known. Although they were confident, they were all top geniuses. They did not dare to go against him. These people had terrifying strength. Most of the hostile gazes disappeared in an instant. Lin Xian was speechless. Of course, not everyone thought expect that buying a medal would cause such a situation who were hostile to Lin Xian. At the same time, however, he was very angry Lin Xian ignored all of that were completely because a group of people not far ahead had piqued his interest. Anyone would be angry if this happened to them. There was a young man who was standing on a huge rock didn't pay any more attention to the people around him. It seemed like he was promoting Lin Xian and spoke slowly. This thing of mine is a top-notch metal called for a long time. If this thing is added into a treasure, as long as it's not definitely increase its quality. The young man said excitedly. Did not know if the other party most of the people around him were watching with a smile, but he was not interested in finding out. That was because the metal in the other party recognized the falling star or not. It was dull and had a lot of rust on it. This item was related to the quality of no matter how one looked at it. He would not give it away even if trying to fool us with that piece of scrap iron. And the others came. That's right. Let alone these people. I've
There's
never heard
nothing
of
to
it.
discuss.
I think
This
it's more
item is
appropriate
equally
to call the
important to
thing
me,
in your hand
so I
a
won't
piece
give
of
it away.
scrap metal. Lin
The
Xian
group of
shook his
people
head
laughed.
firmly.
I'm telling the
I advise you
truth.
to leave quickly.
The young man's face
After
was
all,
red because
my
of his
patience is
excitement.
limited. Really?
If you anger
you
me,
don't want it for yourself.
I'm afraid you won't be able
Someone
to bear
asked.
the consequences.
Adding this will increase the difficulty of refining.
You're the
The
first
young
one
man
who dares
scratched
to
his
threaten
head.
our hidden
Fuck.
dragon league.
Countless people
Yao Bin was
raised their
so
middle
angry
fingers.
that he laughed.
The
His
success
eyes
rate
filled
of
with
finding a
cold
treasure
aura.
was not high to
However,
begin with.
before he
Now
could
that he
finish
was increasing
speaking,
the difficulty,
another sneer sounded
wasn't he
from
deliberately
afar.
causing trouble?
So what if I'm bullying
It was
you?
fine if he did not
You even
use
dare
this
to
thing.
use the Hidden
He might
Dragon
still be able
Society
to
to
pressure
pressure
me.
me.
Treasure
Can
successfully.
you represent the Hidden
However,
Dragon
if he
Society?
used this thing,
This voice
it
was
was
very
extremely
likely
loud
that he
and
would
clear.
fail.
And it
Moreover,
seemed to be even more
that metal
arrogant
did not
than the
look
other
like
party.
something good.
Hearing this voice,
Therefore, for a
everyone
moment,
was stunned.
everyone lost
Who was
interest.
this awesome person
However,
who actually
Lin
dared
Xian
to go
narrowed his
against the
eyes.
Hidden Dragon
Although
League?
his expression
Then,
did not change
everyone
much,
felt their vision
his heart
blur,
was wild
and
with
two
joy.
figures,
One
fallen
black
star,
and one white,
it really is a
appeared on
fallen
the
star.
field.
He didn't
You can't
expect to
represent
see
the
such
Hidden
a thing
Dragon
here.
League,
He
right?
channeled his soul
Seeing the
power
black
into
and
his
white
eyes
figures,
and looked
Yao
carefully.
Bin's face darkened
Soon,
again.
a
He
satisfied
said
smile
coldly,
appeared on his
black
face.
and white double
Although
ghosts.
the metal
Do you
looked
want
like
to fight
scrap
with me?
metal now,
The black-white
after
double
Lin Xian's
ghosts.
appraisal,
They are the
it was
black-white
indeed a
double
genuine
ghosts.
falling star.
At this moment,
When he realized
everyone
this,
cried
a
out
smile
in surprise.
appeared on his face.
Then,
What's
they
wrong?
looked at the black and white figures
asked.
in the field with
Nothing
complicated
much.
expressions.
I just found something
the
good.
older students
Lin
had
Xian
fearful
smiled
looks on
and
their
looked ahead.
faces. Naturally, they would not
Do you know
forget
what the
the
stone is
infamous
for?
reputation of the
Stone.
black-white double ghosts.
Lin Xian was
After
speechless.
those new students
What now?
understood the
All right,
situation,
although it
they
looks like
opened
a
their
rock,
mouths wide
it really
and were
is a rock.
dumbstruck. Lin
No
Xian
wonder
said.
these two people
Is it a
dared to go
meteorite?
against the Hidden
Murong
Dragon
Qingqing
Society.
asked.
It
She
turned
really
out
didn't
that
know
they
what
were
a
also
falling star
extremely
was.
fierce people.
It's a star.
At this moment,
Lin
the black
Xian
demon
said,
snorted
It's
coldly.
much bigger than a
Fight with
meteorite.
you?
And
You
it's
think
a special
too highly
star.
of yourself.
It's just that the
Yeah,
one in front
we're here
is
to
just a
support little
fragment of
Xian
it.
Xian.
You need
The
this
white
thing?
demon laughed.
Yes. Little
Lin
Xian
Xian
nodded. He
Everyone
indeed
felt
needed
a
it.
chill run down
If he
their
had this
spines,
falling star,
but they quickly
the grade of
reacted
his red
and their
lotus
hearts
armor
trembled
could be
violently.
improved. Let's
The
go and
black
take a
and
look.
white double ghosts
The two
were
of them
walking
walked
together
forward,
with Lin Xian.
although there were many
And it
onlookers
seemed like
in
they
front
had a
of them.
good relationship.
Most of them were
This
here
was
to
too
watch the
shocking.
show. They didn't care
I
about the
remember
falling
that you
star
black
at
and
all,
white double
because
ghosts
not
were
many
always
people
alone.
knew about it.
When did you become
Brother,
someone's lackey?
you've been talking for so
Yao
long.
Bin sneered.
How much is it?
It seemed like he did
Yeah,
not
how
have a
many
good
spirit
relationship
stones?
with the black
If
and
it's
white
cheap,
double
I'll buy
ghosts.
it and play with it.
That's where you're wrong.
The young man
I'm
thought for a
friends with
while
the black
and
and
said,
white double ghosts.
It's not very expensive.
Lin Xian said in a low voice.
3,000 bronze
He really
demon
could not
cores
stand
or
the other
20
party's
silver
words.
demon cores. The black and
What?
white double
You're
ghosts
robbing
also
us.
had cold expressions.
Kid, are you crazy about
They looked
demon
at Yao
cores?
Bin coldly.
People nowadays
You have the
are
nerve
really
to
out
call
of their
us
minds.
lackeys.
You
I
dare
think
to sell
you're
a
the
piece
lackey
of
of
scrap
the Hidden
metal
Dragon
for 3,000
Society.
demon cores?
Fine.
Hearing the price,
I don't care
the
what
people
your
around them
relationship
shook
is.
their heads and
I'm
sneered.
taking the falling star
a
today.
bunch of ignorant
Yao
fools.
Bin's eyes were
The young
filled
man
with
was
ferocity.
furious when he heard
You don't
so
have
many
the
people
ability to
mocking
do
him.
that.
He
The black
waved his
and white
sleeve,
double ghost
jumped down
snorted
from
with
the huge
disdain
rock,
in their eyes
and was about to leave.
Don't be so
I want
arrogant,
this
black
thing.
and white double
Suddenly,
ghosts.
a voice came from
Yao Bin
behind.
saw their expressions
Who's that?
and naturally knew
wastrel.
what they were thinking.
Everyone was
He
speechless.
said coldly. They all
Do you
turned
think I
around
want
to
to
see
see
who
who
it was that dared to spend
tell you the
so many
truth,
demon
it
cores
was
on
our
a piece
second
of
young
scrap
master
metal.
Tang who asked
Hearing
for
that,
it.
the young
If you
man
don't
in
want to
front
die,
stopped and quickly
you'd better
turned
hand it
around.
over
He
obediently.
saw two people walking
Second
over
young
from
master
behind.
Tang.
It was
Everyone
a man and a woman
exclaimed
when they heard
their
this
temperaments
name.
were
The
outstanding,
black and white double
and their
ghosts
manners
were
were
also
calm.
shocked. They were like
They
a
would not
golden
forget
couple.
that not long ago.
This is second
Many
young master
people were
Tang
stunned
had defeatedly
and
Ray,
asked each other
who
who
was
these
ranked
two
10th
people
on the
were.
Mystic Sovereign
Soon,
leaderboard
they had their answers
and became the
Lin
new
Xian
10th.
Murong Qingqing.
With such strength,
These two were
even
the most
black and white
influential
double
people in the
ghosts would not
academy.
dare to provoke
The young
him.
man also
At that
recognized
moment,
the
Lin
two of them.
Xian, he
He hesitated
hesitated
for a moment,
was
then
also
asked,
stunned.
You really
He said
want
in
to
a
buy
low
it?
voice, to be
It
honest,
doesn't matter if it's
he did
second
not have
young
much
master
confidence
Tang
in the
or
thing in his
third young
hand.
master Tang.
Although it was real,
Since
not
this many
item is
people
in my
knew about
hands.
it,
It's mine.
Moreover,
I want
Don't give
Its
it away.
appearance was too ugly.
I'll give you one last
However,
chance.
Lin Xian smiled.
Scram or bear the consequences.
Of course, by as many as you have.
Many people held their
By
breaths
as many
when
as
they
you
heard
have.
this.
Hearing
Powerful,
that,
too powerful.
the surrounding martial
They did not
artists' mouths
expect Lin
twitched.
Xian to be
He
so
was really
powerful.
rich.
He did
That
not
thing
take
cost
the Hidden
3,000
Dragon
demon
Society
cores.
seriously at all.
And he wanted as many
Yao
as
Ben's
he
face
had.
was ashen.
Of course,
He did not
these
expect
words were
that
only
after
whispered in
mentioning
their
second
hearts.
young Master
They did
Tang's
not
name.
dare to say it out
Lin
loud.
Xian would not be
After
afraid
all,
at all.
they knew Lin Xian's
Instead,
strength.
he became
Hearing
even
Lin
more
Xian's
powerful
words,
than before.
the young man was
he did not
overjoyed.
take them seriously
Just
at
this
all.
one.
Yao Ben was so angry that
demon
his whole
cores,
body
or
trembled.
20 silver
He
demon
was about to
cores.
go crazy.
That was
If it were not
3,000
for the
bronze
black
demon
and white
cores.
double ghosts,
Lin Xian
he would
took
have
out a
attacked
storage
long ago.
pouch.
However,
Hearing that,
he still
everyone
tried
was
his
shocked.
best to control
He
himself.
was really buying it.
Attacking
No
now would
wonder
not
he was
do
the
him
most
any good.
influential person.
After all, the young
If
man
Lin
was
Xian
also
and the
stunned.
black and white
Then
double
he was
ghosts
overjoyed.
joined forces.
He quickly
He
would
took
not
the
be able
storage
to
pouch
resist at
and
all.
checked it carefully.
However, He
Then,
would not give
a look
up
of
just like
excitement
that.
appeared on his
Therefore,
face.
he gritted his
There were
teeth
indeed
and said in the
3,000
end,
bronze demon
"Kid,
cores.
do you really
Good,
want to
now
go
the
against
falling
the
star
Hidden
is
Dragon
yours."
Society?"
The young man handed
"Don't
over the
use
medal
the
in
Hidden
his
Dragon
hand.
Society
Lin
to scare
Xian's
me."
heart jumped,
Lin
and he
Xian
was
sneered.
ecstatic.
"I
However,
dared to kill the
he
Yin
quickly
family
suppressed
and
the
destroy the
excitement in his
Wuxia
heart
auction
and quickly
Do you
took
think
it.
you'll be afraid of
However,
the Hidden Dragon
just as he was
Society?
about to grab the falling
Furthermore,
star, a
do you
cold
think you
light
can
flashed
represent
and
the
flew
Green
toward
Dragon
him at high
Society?
speed.
At the
The
end of
voice
his
surged,
sentence,
and
Lin
the air was
Xian's
pierced
eyes were
through in
filled
an
with
instant.
disdain. There
The
wasn't
surrounding
much
people
sound,
were shocked,
but the sharp
many
aura
of them
made
were
everyone's
stunned.
heart skip a
Indeed,
beat.
they
Feeling
seemed to
that
have
the aura was
forgotten
coming toward
that
him,
the Lin Xian in
Xian's
front of
face
them
darkened.
was not a kind person either. He was a ruthless person who had caused havoc in the entire Windy City and overturned several major forces. His reputation was probably even greater than the black and white double ghosts. Yao Bin was so angry that his whole body trembled. His eyes were burning with anger. Lin Xian dared to look down on him. He could not tolerate this. He was also a genius. When had he ever been looked down upon like this? Chapter 950. With a cold snort, a terrifying aura exploded from Yao Bin's body and filled the entire sky. The people that he had brought with him all had cold expressions as they gripped their weapons. Opposite them, the black-white double ghosts snorted as a powerful aura surged from their bodies as well. Morong Qingqing was like a fairy, as she summoned a purple cloud that emitted a terrifying energy fluctuation. Although Lin Xian did not show anything, the crowd seemed to see countless sword shadows circling around him. In an instant, the atmosphere was extremely tense. In the next moment, the two sides would probably start fighting. The surrounding martial artists retreated with fear. They were only there to watch the show and did not want to be implicated. However, just as the two sides were about to start fighting, a voice came from behind them. "If he can't represent me, what about me, Tang Er?" The voice was not loud, but it was clearly heard by everyone. Tang Er. Everyone was shocked when they heard the name, because the person was ranked 10th on the Mystic Sovereign leaderboard. On the other hand, Yao Bin was overjoyed and his eyes were filled with excitement. He knew that he was safe. As long as Tang Er was here, the other side would definitely be no match for him. With a cold snort, Yao Bin looked at Lin Xian and the others with a mocking gaze. Lin Xian also frowned slightly, but he was not afraid at all. It just so happened that he wanted to see what kind of person this so-called second Tang was. Looking through the crowd, Lin Xian looked ahead. Over there, a silhouette was rushing over. That terrifying speed was shocking. Tang Er, it really is Tang Er. Seeing the figure, countless people exclaimed in surprise. On the other hand, Yao Bin was also excited. His face was filled with ecstasy, as if his back was straightened again with Tang Er around. Lin Xian was still alright, but the black-white double ghosts also looked solemn. Judging from the other party's aura, he was definitely not weaker than them. Tang Er glanced at the black-white double ghosts, and then looked to the side. When he saw Morong Qingqing, a look of surprise appeared in his eyes. However, he quickly suppressed it and looked at Lin Xian. "Lin Xian, right? You really do live up to your reputation. Your name can be said to be the most famous among the new students. However, I heard that you have a lot of troubles as well. Why don't you join our Hidden Dragon Society? At least we can reduce your troubles." I don't dare to guarantee anything else, but within the Immortal Martial Academy, our words count. Hearing this, everyone was shocked. Their eyes were filled with disbelief. They didn't expect Second Tang to come here and not make a move. Not only that, he even extended an olive branch to Lin Xian. What was going on? They were completely baffled. Even the twin demons of black and white were suspicious. They never would have thought that the Hidden Dragon League would try to recruit Lin Xian. Lin Xian was also slightly taken aback, but he quickly shook his head and refused. No matter what the other party's plans were, he would not join the Hidden Dragon League. Firstly, he had his own faction, the Dragon Sword Pavilion. Secondly, from today's situation, he could tell what kind of personality these people from the Hidden Dragon League had. He would never join such a club. "I'm sorry, but I have my own Dragon Sword Pavilion. I won't join other clubs." Lin Xian decisively refused. "What? You dare to refuse?" Yao Bin shrieked. He was too angry. Lin Xian actually dared to refuse the Hidden Dragon League's invitation. He was simply too arrogant. Lin Xian sneered. "I say, are you crazy?
You invited me and I have to join? What kind of logic is that? How about this? I invite you to join our Dragon Sword Pavilion. As long as you are willing to be my underling, the monthly resources you get will be double of what you get in the Hidden Dragon League. Impudent! Who do you think you are? You dare to recruit us? Yao Bin roared. Lin Xian sneered. Then who do you think you are? Do you think you are worthy of recruiting me? Facing the Hidden Dragon League, Lin Xian was not afraid. What a joke. You invited me to join, but you still got angry when I didn't join. Even if you forced me to join, you wouldn't go to such an extent. As for Yao Bin, Lin Xian didn't put him in his eyes at all. As for Second Tang, although he was currently ranked 10th on the Mystic Revered leaderboard, Lin Xian wasn't afraid at all if they really fought. After all, he had a great killing weapon in his hands. Since junior brother Lin isn't willing, then forget it. Although it's a pity, I still respect junior brother Lin's decision. However, this falling star is really important to me. I wonder if junior brother Lin can give it to me? Don't worry, you bought it for 3,000 demon cores. I'll pay 6,000 demon cores. I won't let you suffer a loss. Although Second Tang frowned slightly at Lin Xian's rejection, he wouldn't get angry easily, as he was ranked 10th on the Mystic Revered leaderboard. Otherwise, people would think that he was bullying a newcomer. Therefore, he didn't get angry immediately. Instead, he changed the topic to the falling star. He hadn't held much hope for the previous invitation. After all, the other party had his own forces. However, he was determined to get the falling star, and was very confident. Therefore, he had doubled the price. Furthermore, he had personally asked, so the other party would probably give him some face. However, he was completely wrong this time. If it had been something else, then he would have let it go. However, the falling star was also very important to Lin Xian. Therefore, even if it had been 6,000 silver-grade demon cores, Lin Xian would have decisively rejected it, let alone 6,000 green-grade demon cores. Indeed, in the next moment, Lin Xian quickly shook his head. I'm really sorry. This falling star is also very important to me, so I won't hand it over. However, I think that with the Hidden Dragon Society's power, it shouldn't be too difficult to find another one. Hearing this, no one expected Lin Xian to reject Second Tang, who was ranked 10th on the Mystic Revered leaderboard, so decisively. The corner of Yao Bin's mouth twitched. Find another one? Although he didn't know the exact value of the falling star, he knew that it was definitely very rare based on Second Tang's attention to this matter. Therefore, he wouldn't believe the nonsense of finding another one even if he was beaten to death. Second Tang's face darkened when he heard this. There was a trace of coldness in his eyes. He hadn't expected Lin Xian to reject him. He didn't take him seriously at all. Ever since he had ranked 10th on the Mystic Revered leaderboard, his mentality had changed. In the past, although he was powerful, he didn't have any status. It could be said that he had been lying low. However, now that he had soared to the sky and ranked 10th on the Mystic Revered leaderboard, it could be said that he had entered the top echelon of the entire academy. Naturally, the arrogance in his heart rose. Therefore, when he faced Lin Xian, he looked down on him. In his opinion, although Lin Xian had some reputation, he couldn't be compared to him. After all, he wasn't someone that trash like Yin Qingfeng could compare to. However, he hadn't expected Lin Xian to reject him. Moreover, he had rejected him so decisively without any hesitation. This was undoubtedly a slap in his face. Chapter 951. Tang Er said coldly. At the same time, a terrifying aura emanated from his body. It was as if a peerless beast was rapidly awakening. Sensing this aura, the surrounding people were horrified and kept retreating. This aura was too powerful, and it was not something they could resist. Even Morong Qingcheng and the black-white double demons looked solemn and were secretly on guard. Although the other party was arrogant, his strength was there and could not be underestimated. However, Lin Xian still had a calm smile on his face, as if the terrifying aura did not affect him at all. Seeing this, Tang Er's brows furrowed even tighter. First, Lin Xian rejected his invitation. Now he was not afraid of his suppression. It was as if everything Lin Xian did was a provocation to him. As someone who had just stepped onto the throne of the strong, how could he tolerate such provocation? Moreover, Lin Xian's next words made him even more furious. Lin Xian said indifferently, "There's no need to consider. If there's nothing else, goodbye." Seeing Lin Xian's attitude, Tang Er finally could not take it anymore. He snorted coldly, and the aura on his body exploded again. Rumble! The void trembled, and the surrounding martial artists were pushed away by this force. They fell to the ground with a horrified look on their faces. The terrifying spiritual energy condensed in the sky, forming a huge palm of light that grabbed at Lin Xian. Everyone was horrified. They did not expect Tang Er to suddenly attack. Lin Xian felt the rapidly approaching palm and snorted coldly. A sharp light burst out from his eyes. Then he took a step forward, and the sword aura on his body surged. It formed a light sword that was dozens of feet long, and quickly slashed forward. The huge spiritual light sword tore through the void with ease. With a long tail of light and a sharp aura, it collided with the huge palm in the sky. An earth-shattering sound was heard. A terrifying ball of energy formed between the two. It quickly spread and swept in all directions. Looking at this scene, countless people screamed in horror and quickly fled into the distance. In the next moment, the place where they were originally at was swept by the aftermath of the energy. Countless boulders turned into powder, and the entire ground was cut into several pieces. That strike was so terrifying. Moreover, this was only a confrontation of the two's aura. If the two of them really fought, the entire valley would probably be flattened in an instant. What? It was blocked. This is impossible. Seeing this scene, Yaobin screamed in horror. In his opinion, the pressure released by Tang Er would definitely be able to severely injure Lin Xian. He could even imagine Lin Xian being sent flying by the pressure. He didn't expect that the other party would be able to resist it. This was completely beyond his imagination. Although this was only spiritual pressure, it wasn't something that a freshman could resist. Tang Er was also greatly surprised. His eyes narrowed slightly as he stared at the figure in front of him. His gaze revealed a frightening light. In the next moment, he took a step forward, and his figure suddenly disappeared. In an instant, he appeared in front of Lin Xian. So fast! Even the black-white double fiends beside him cried out in surprise at this speed. Clearly, Tang Er's speed had exceeded their reaction time. Lin Xian's pupils contracted as well, but he was able to clearly capture his opponent's movements. Without any hesitation, a ball of azure cold air appeared on Lin Xian's palm, and he fiercely blasted it forward. This palm blocked his opponent's fist. When the fist and palm collided, a thunderous sound was heard again. The two balls of energy collided, forming countless storms. He blocked it again. This time, Tang Er was also moved, and he stopped underestimating him. If the previous spiritual power confrontation made him feel doubtful, then this fist and palm collision made him completely understand that the young man in front of him was more powerful than he had imagined. At least it wasn't something that he could deal with in 1 or 2 moves. Not only that, the other party's cold air was very strange. Not only was it extremely cold, but it also contained a sharp sword aura. At this moment, the aura was madly drilling into his body. If it wasn't for his strong spiritual power that could block it, an ordinary person wouldn't have been able to withstand it. When the crowd in the distance saw this scene, their eyes almost popped out. Lin Xian had actually blocked Tang Er's attack. This was simply too shocking. Before this, they didn't think highly of Lin Xian. Although Lin Xian could kill Yan Qifeng, who was ranked 30th on the mysterious sovereign leaderboard, there was a world of difference between the top 30 and the top 10. However, at this moment, Lin Xian had blocked Tang Er's attack. This meant that his strength was definitely above everyone's expectations. Tang Er was also extremely shocked. However, he still grinned and said, "You're indeed the most famous person among the new students. Junior brother Lin's skills are indeed extraordinary. It's just SOSO. I only used 30% of my strength." Lin Xian also smiled. "If you want to continue fighting, I'll accompany you to the end. However, when the time comes, it's not certain who will be ranked 10th on the mysterious sovereign leaderboard." The crowd widened their eyes as if they couldn't believe what they had just heard. What did Lin Xian mean? Could it be that he still had the strength to defeat Tang Er? Tang Er's heart skipped a beat as he pondered. Logically speaking, he definitely wouldn't believe it. However, Lin Xian was too calm, which made him feel suspicious. In the end, he withdrew his fist and didn't attack again. It seems that junior brother Lin is very confident in his strength. I'm looking forward to your next performance. You won't be disappointed. Seeing that Tang Er didn't attack again, Lin Xian also withdrew his aura. He looked deeply at Tang Er, then turned around and left with Morong Qingqing and the others. Seeing this scene, the crowd was dumbfounded. They didn't expect the conflict between the two to end in this way. At the same time, they didn't dare to stay in this area any longer. Who knew if Tang Er would go crazy at this moment? If he came looking for them, it would be a big joke. Therefore, the surrounding warriors had all left in an instant. Looking at the backs of Lin Xian and the others, Yao Bin gritted his teeth and asked unwillingly, "Second brother, are we just going to let this kid go like this?" He couldn't accept it. He didn't expect Tang Er to be unable to take down Lin Xian. Thinking of this, a ball of anger burned in his heart. Tang Er didn't answer. Instead, he quickly mobilized all the spiritual power in his body and surged it to his right hand. Then, a blue aura appeared in his palm and became denser. Finally, the cold aura formed a ball and appeared in his palm. He clenched his hand and crushed the blue ice ball. I didn't expect this kid to be more difficult to deal with than I thought. Especially his cold aura. It's strange and unpredictable. Tang Er said slowly as he patted the ice shards off his hand. The blue ice ball that he had forced out of his body earlier was the cold aura that Lin Xian had injected into his body. Fortunately, he was strong. If his cultivation was slightly weaker, he would have been frozen by the cold aura. Seeing this, Yao Bin and the others were shocked. They didn't expect their opponent to have such a strange technique. Chapter 952. Let him go. Impossible. Let him be proud for 2 days. Tang Er said coldly. If we didn't need to conserve energy to attack that nest, do you think he would be able to leave safely? Tang Er's entire body emitted a cold aura, as if he was a peerless beast that wanted to devour people. It won't be too late to teach this brat a lesson after we attack that nest. No one has ever been able to take anything away from me. Hearing his words, Yao Bin and the others relaxed. They knew that it wasn't because Lin Xian was strong, but because Tang Er didn't use his full strength. Otherwise, that brat would have already knelt on the ground and begged for mercy. Second brother, the direction they left in seems to have a target. Could it be that their target is that nest as well? Hearing this, Tang Er nodded. That's possible. Although Lin Xian is a freshman, he has the black-white double ghosts by his side. I think that with the other party's intelligence network, they should also know about the nest. You guys go investigate and see if their target is that nest as well. If it really is that nest, let him know what regret is. That brat is too strange. Should we make a move halfway? Yao Bin revealed a cruel smile. No need. So what if they enter the nest? You have to know that I'm not the only one making a move this time. Jiang Yin will also be here in 2 days. Do you think that with their strength, they can fight against our hidden dragon society? As he finished speaking, Tang Er's eyes revealed a deep disdain. Even big brother Jiang is coming? Hearing Tang Er's words, Yao Bin was stunned. To deal with a new student, there shouldn't be a need for the 2 experts of the Hidden Dragon Society to make a move. You're thinking too much. Jiang Yin is only here to attack the nest. Dealing with that brat is just a matter of convenience. Hearing this, Yao Bin let out a sigh of relief. It seemed that the brat wasn't as strong as he thought. As long as Tang Er used his full strength, he would be able to deal with him. Putting Lin Xian's matter aside, Yao Bin asked again, "Is the news from that nest true?" Of course it's true. After our Hidden Dragon Society repeatedly confirmed it, it can't be wrong. What do you think? If we successfully kill a gold-ranked demon beast, won't it shock everyone? Tang Er's eyes lit up. At that time, we'll probably be the first people in the entire academy to kill a gold-ranked beast. Even Dugo Outyan and Li Yunfei didn't have this honor. Thinking of this, Yao Bin and the others' breathing became heavy, and their eyes were burning with a fiery light. If that was true, The Hidden Dragon Society would definitely become the most famous society in the academy. At that time, someone like Lin Xian would be nothing. Even if he were to kneel and beg to join them, they might not necessarily agree. Lin Xian and the others were naturally unaware of Second Tang's scheme. They had already left the valley and were heading towards their destination. The twin demons of black and white looked at Lin Xian with a puzzled expression. You sent people to fight with the Hidden Dragon Society just for a broken stone. Is it necessary? Then he flipped his palm and took out the fist-sized falling star. When the sword chi collided with the falling stars, countless sparks flew in all directions amidst the metallic collisions. This thing is so hard. Seeing this, the black-white double demons couldn't stay calm. Even Morong Qingqing looked at it curiously. They knew Lin Xian's strength. Even a second sky venerable realm martial artist couldn't resist this sword chi. But now it couldn't even break a piece of rock. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. He used his soul power to check the structure of the falling star. Then he quickly attacked. The great dragon sword soul in his body rotated and covered the entire falling star. This time, the sword chi was even sharper. Countless fragments flew around, as if a layer of clothing had been taken off. The falling star gradually emitted a blue light. In the end, the rusty layer on the surface disappeared. The entire falling star turned into a dark blue metal. It was like a sea of stars, deep and profound. The black-white double demons opened their mouths wide. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. The stone that was so dilapidated had become so dazzling? Morong Qingqing also exclaimed, "It's so beautiful. It's like a real star." Of course it's a star. Lin Xian smiled. Then he carefully put away the falling star. This thing was related to the improvement of the Red Lotus armor. It was extremely precious. Kid, you have a good eye. How did you find such a hidden treasure? If Tang Er knew, he would vomit blood. The black-white double demon smirked. Lin Xian shrugged. It had nothing to do with him whether they vomited blood or not. Let's go. Let's reach the golden lair first, Lin Xian said. He didn't want such a treasure to be taken away by others. The others nodded in agreement. Then the group sped up. They didn't delay along the way, so their speed was very fast. A day later, they were close to the place marked on the map. However, Lin Xian and the others realized that they weren't the only team heading in that direction. It seemed that the news had spread. Lin Xian sighed. In just half a day, 2 teams had flown past them. And that was only in their direction. He didn't know what it was like in the other directions. However, it shouldn't be too deserted. Ignore the others. Let's go, Lin Xian said in a low voice. Now he knew that this kind of thing couldn't be hidden in the monster-slaying world. However, it didn't matter even if everyone knew, because the golden lair was no ordinary lair. It was extremely dangerous. Only people with strength could come here. Lin Xian was still confident in his strength. They continued forward and realized that the scenery in front of them had changed. White bones began to appear on the ground. Some were scattered while others were intact. The closer they got to the golden lair, the more bones there were on the ground. Not only that, but the entire air was emitting a demonic aura, which made people feel very oppressed. Finally, Lin Xian and the others arrived at the place marked on the map, which was in front of the golden lair. The first thing they sensed was a strong beastly aura surging toward them. The demonic aura was so strong that it directly turned into a mist that could be seen with the naked eye. It filled the entire area. Not only was the aura terrifying, but the demonic aura could also corrode a person's body. If someone with weaker strength came here, they would probably be corroded by the demonic aura in a short time. The consequences of being corroded by the demonic aura were very tragic. They would either explode and die, or go crazy and become a killing machine. Fortunately, Lin Xian and the others were strong. The demonic aura didn't affect them at all. Chapter 953. Cheering up, Lin Xian and the rest walked forward. Then they saw a huge object standing in front of them. Seeing that thing, Lin Xian and the rest sucked in a breath of cold air. That huge black shadow was actually a skeleton. It was a skeleton that was hundreds of feet tall, like a huge mountain. Although the demonic beast had been dead for a long time, the skeleton still exuded a terrifying aura. As expected of the golden lair, it's really extraordinary, Lin Xian exclaimed. This scene was much more terrifying than the silver lair from before. Lin Xian and the rest stood in front of the golden lair, looking at the huge skeleton and feeling deeply shocked. However, what made them even more shocked was that they found other teams here, and there were quite a few of them. These people were able to come here and ignore the demonic aura's corrosion, which was enough to prove their strength. However, the good thing was that these forces were only on guard against each other and did not cause any conflict. Lin Xian and the rest occupied a safe place and looked at the golden lair in front of them. There were a lot of bronze beasts in front of them. In addition, there was a large number of silver beasts. Just the strength of the golden lair's periphery had already surpassed the silver lair that Lin Xian attacked before. Lin Xian relied on his outstanding soul power to sense that there was an extremely powerful and obscure aura in the depths of the golden lair. It should be the newly promoted gold beast. At this moment, the demonic beasts in the periphery saw the surrounding martial artists and roared angrily, becoming restless. Fortunately, they seemed to have received some orders and did not rush over. They only guarded the entire golden lair. Lin Xian and the rest did not immediately make a move. Instead, they sat cross-legged and quickly adjusted their state of mind. Anyway, this place was no longer a secret. It would not be long before other martial artists came. Before the situation was clear, Lin Xian and the rest would not make a move. Fortunately, these people were patient enough to wait. As time passed, more and more martial artists appeared. From time to time, the sound of something breaking through the air could be heard. Obviously, there were still many martial artists rushing over. All of a sudden, an enormous and boundless energy came from afar. Like a huge wave, it tore apart the terrifying demonic qi. Then a group of people charged into the arena. The surrounding martial artists were shocked and raised their heads to look. Lin Xian and the others opened their eyes and looked at the sky. They're from the Hidden Dragon League. Seeing the figures of Tang Er and the others, the black-white double fiends snorted coldly. This group of people was really like ghosts that wouldn't go away. Lin Xian also frowned slightly. He didn't think that the Hidden Dragon League would also know about this. With the relationship between the two parties, there would be a fierce battle when they entered the nest. However, he wasn't too worried. If the other party really made a move, he would let those people know who the soft persimmon was. Tang Er and the others looked around with arrogance in their eyes. Soon they discovered the figures of Lin Xian and the others. Second Tang narrowed his eyes, and the corners of his mouth curled into an evil smile. Behind him, Yao Bin and the others glared fiercely at him. The twin ghosts of black and white snorted coldly when they saw the other party's malicious gazes. If it weren't for the fact that the other party had more people, they would have already attacked. Brat, I'm afraid that those people don't have good intentions. If they really enter the nest, they'll definitely attack you. Why don't we think of a way to get rid of them now? The twin ghosts of black and white were ruthless people. They naturally wouldn't fear the Hidden Dragon League. However, Lin Xian shook his head. If he made a move now, he would undoubtedly become the target of public criticism. He didn't want to cause any trouble at this critical moment. Just as he finished speaking, another powerful aura came from the distance. Immediately after, a fiery red figure appeared in the sky. Boom! The red aura surged with a terrifyingly high temperature. It burned the surrounding demonic aura to ashes, and more than half of the area was cleared. How terrifying! Feeling this temperature, the surrounding people were shocked. Lin Xian was also shocked and looked up again. In the sky, the fiery red light gradually disappeared, and a figure appeared. It was a man wearing a fiery red robe. There was also a dark red light flowing in his eyes. His entire person was like a god of fire, incomparably hot. It's him, Jiang Yan. I didn't expect him to be here too. Many people exclaimed. Jiang Yan. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. In the previous news, there was information about Jiang Yan defeating the 8th-ranked Xiang Fei. His strength could be said to be even more terrifying than Tang Er. He didn't expect the two top experts of the Hidden Dragon League to be here. The surrounding people were also shocked. In their opinion, The Hidden Dragon League must have attached great importance to this golden lair. They even seemed to be determined to get it. Unlike the surrounding people who were shocked, the people of the Hidden Dragon League were very happy. After all, with the two top experts, their chances of success would be much higher. Jiang Yin smiled at Tang Er and said, "We're not too late, right?" "Not too late. Even if we're a bit late, so what? Even if all these people enter the lair, we'll be the ones to get it in the end." Tang Er's eyes flashed with confidence. Jiang Yin nodded, and then looked down at the lair. When he saw the 100-feet-tall skeleton, he was slightly stunned. As expected of the golden lair, this aura is indeed extraordinary. Then his gaze swept past the lair and scanned the surroundings. When the surrounding martial artists were swept by this gaze, they all felt their bodies stiffen and didn't dare to look him in the eye. Although Jiang Yin didn't say anything, the corner of his mouth held a trace of disdain. Soon his gaze fixed on a place and he said indifferently, "That person is Lin Xian?" "Yes, that's the kid," Tang Er said coldly. "He's even more arrogant than the rumors. He actually dared to reject my invitation." Behind him, Yao Bin and the others also quickly said, "Yes, big brother Jiang. That kid is too despicable. He doesn't put the Hidden Dragon League in his eyes at all." When Jiang Yin heard their words, he didn't show any emotion. He asked again, "How's his strength?" "He's stronger than I imagined. He was actually able to take one of my attacks." "Oh, you fought with him?" Hearing Tang Er's words, Jiang Yin revealed a trace of surprise. "Looks like we have to reevaluate this kid. After all, he still has the Lone Star Sword, a half-Earth rank artifact. If he uses the Lone Star Sword, his strength will probably increase by a lot. It's nothing. No matter how strong he is, he's no match for us," Tang Er said proudly. "If there's no other way, we'll capture him before he uses the Lone Star Sword." Obviously, they also had a strategy to deal with the Lone Star Sword. Hearing Tang Er's answer, Jiang Yin nodded slightly. Suddenly, he frowned and turned to look behind him. The sound of something breaking through the air could be heard again. A group of figures quickly rushed over. The person in the lead had a very powerful aura. It seemed to be even more terrifying than when Jiang Yin arrived. "Qi Hao. I didn't expect him to come too." Chapter 954. Seeing this, Yao Bin and the others trembled slightly. As members of the Hidden Dragon League, they naturally knew what Jiang Yan's expression meant. Jiang Yan would only have such an expression when he was extremely excited. Indeed, Jiang Yan was extremely excited at the moment. He was already ranked 8th on the Mystic Sovereign leaderboard, while Qi Hao was ranked 5th. Although the top 10 were the first echelon, the top 5 were even more powerful and had a better reputation. If he could defeat Qi Hao and obtain the 5th position, his fame would increase once again, and he would become the biggest dark horse of the demon-slaying conference. Although Qi Hao was ranked 5th on the Mystic Sovereign leaderboard and was powerful, Jiang Yan had absolute confidence in himself. When he had obtained the 8th position on the Mystic Sovereign leaderboard, he had only used 3 moves. Therefore, he was confident that he could challenge Qi Hao. Below, the black-white double demons were also shocked. "Who is that?" Lin Xian asked. He had never seen the black-white double demons with such serious expressions. Qi Hao, ranked 5th on the Mystic Sovereign leaderboard. He is extremely powerful and can be considered a true top expert. Lin Xian nodded. The 5th position on the Mystic Sovereign leaderboard was already extremely terrifying. It was no wonder that the black-white double demons had such expressions. Qi Hao also swept his gaze over the crowd, but he only greeted Jiang Yan, Tang Er, and a few others. He completely ignored the others. Although the others were angry and dissatisfied, no one dared to say anything. After Qi Hao's arrival, other ancient martial art practitioners arrived one after another. However, the number of people was much smaller than before. It seemed that most of the ancient martial art practitioners who had received the news had already arrived. Seeing the decreasing number of ancient martial art practitioners, many people's breathing became heavier and their eyes burned with passion. This was because they knew that they would soon begin to attack the nest. Lin Xian also said in a low voice, "When we attack the nest later, everyone be careful. You must protect yourself." It doesn't matter if you don't get the demon core. Although the demon core was good, personal safety was more important. Therefore, no one had any objections. Not only Lin Xian and the others, but all the other teams were preparing. The originally quiet atmosphere immediately became heated. Finally, someone could not help but lead the team to charge toward the golden nest. With one person taking the lead, the others did not hesitate. They all used their spiritual power and charged forward with all their might. Although they couldn't kill a gold-ranked demonic beast, there were still a large number of bronze-ranked and silver-ranked demonic beasts in the nest. Therefore, this time, as long as they gave it their all, they would definitely be able to reap great rewards. Disdain appeared in Second Tang's eyes when he saw the figures flying out. In his opinion, it was useless no matter how fast these people rushed, because the gold-ranked demon beast would definitely be theirs in the end. Let's go, let's make our move, Second Tang said in a deep voice. After lying low for so long, it's time to let the world know our strength. Hearing this, the gazes of the Hidden Dragon League's martial artists instantly became fiery. Each of them released a powerful aura, and followed behind Jiang Yan and Tang Er, quickly flying upwards. On the other side, Qi Hao also set off with many martial artists. As he gazed at the fleeing figures, Lin Xian took a deep breath and said in a deep voice, "Let's go." Then with a stomp of his foot, he turned into a ray of light and rushed forward. At the same time, Morong Qingcheng, the twin ghosts of black and white, and the others quickly followed beside him. Like a shooting star, the crowd gathered among the martial artists and quickly moved forward with the flow of people. On the other side, when the demon beasts outside the nest saw the numerous martial artists rushing over, they immediately raised their heads and roared angrily at the sky. Their bodies also emitted a terrifying demonic aura. It was obvious that they were angered by the crowd's actions. The demon beasts were infuriated and quickly rushed over. Not long after, they collided with the martial artists who were rushing over. Suddenly, a great battle was about to break out. Lin Xian and the others were naturally blocked by the bronze demon beasts. However, they were powerful and did not fear the demon beasts at all. With a long roar, Lin Xian flicked his finger, and the wind shadow sword appeared in his hand. With a wave of his arm, sword qi swept out in all directions. Wherever the sword qi swept past, all the demon beasts were cut in half. Morong Qingcheng's body was surrounded by purple light. Her large purple palm appeared and disappeared unpredictably. Every strike was able to wipe out a group of demon beasts. The black-white double ghosts were even more ferocious. With the two of them working together, their momentum was not weaker than Lin Xian and the others at all. As for Su Yu and the others, although they were weaker, with the four of them working together and Lin Xian and the others covering for them, they were not in any danger. However, this was the Golden Nest after all. It was the most dangerous place in the demon-slaying world. There were too many ordinary demon beasts. They were like endless waves. Among them, there were also many silver demon beasts who led powerful demon beasts to fight against the humans. No, there are too many of them. We have to charge quickly. Otherwise, if we are surrounded here, it will be very dangerous for us. Morong Qingcheng said in a deep voice. Okay then, we will adopt the knife formation. One person will be the main force in the front, and the others will support. We will rotate every half an incense stick's time. This way, they could maintain their super strong combat power and conserve their energy to deal with any changes that might happen at any time. In this formation, they quickly charged through the demon beasts. They were very fast, but there were people who were faster than them. Among them, there were two teams that charged at the front. One of them was the Hidden Dragon Society. Tang Er and Jiang Yan worked together and charged at the front. They led the members of the Hidden Dragon Society and charged forward like a sharp sword. Wherever they went, nothing could stop them. The other team was led by Qi Hao. These two teams were the most powerful and left the others far behind. Damn it, there are too many of them. We can't keep up. The black-white double ghosts were angry. Don't worry about it. Let them charge. This way they can take most of the attention. Lin Xian said in a deep voice. We just need to maintain this speed. Don't worry, The golden demon beast is not that easy to kill. Even if they are the first to arrive, they can't kill the golden demon beast in one go. Lin Xian's words gave everyone confidence. Even the black-white double ghosts calmed down. The group maintained their formation and charged forward quickly. Finally, after a difficult charge, they tore through the outer defense line and arrived at the interior of the nest. The interior of the nest was even more terrifying. There were nests everywhere, densely packed together. It had to be said that this golden nest was too terrifying. Just the strength that it had displayed was already 10 times that of the silver nests. However, Lin Xian and the others had only just broken through the outer defense of the nest and reached the entrance. One could imagine how terrifying the creatures in the depths were. However, although there were many demon beasts here, Lin Xian and the others were even faster than when they were in the outer defense line. Chapter 955. Lin Xian furrowed his brows. He spread out his soul power and quickly scanned the area. Then, a suspicious expression appeared on his face. Did you notice that there are no silver-level demonic beasts in the lair? That's true. The black-white double ghosts looked around and found bronze figures everywhere. There were no silver-level demonic beasts. This is weird. Are there only so few demonic beasts in the golden lair? Impossible. Even if there are only so few silver-level demonic beasts, they can't all be in the periphery. But there are no silver-level demonic beasts in the inner part of the lair. There must be something that we don't know. There must be something wrong. Lin Xian was puzzled about the absence of silver-level demonic beasts in the lair. At the same time, he was on his guard. However, he didn't find anything out of the ordinary for a while. So, he had to put the matter aside for the time being. After about an hour, Lin Xian and the rest finally arrived at the inner part of the lair. When they crossed the last passage, they found that there were fewer demonic beasts in front of them. The demonic beasts behind them were roaring uneasily. They didn't dare to follow them. Seeing this, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. Although it had only been an hour, they had used up a lot of their energy. Everyone heaved a sigh of relief. They took out elixirs and swallowed them to recover their energy quickly. Then they looked ahead. The area in front of them gradually became spacious. Several huge stone pillars stood in all directions, supporting the entire lair. Also, unlike the outside world, the demonic chi here was thicker. It even carried a huge pressure. Although the aura was terrifying, everyone was happy. Only the silver-level demonic beasts could emit such a horrifying aura. Everyone be careful. Don't let your guard down. The closer they were to the silver-level demonic beasts, the more dangerous it was for them. Not only were they in danger from the demonic beasts, but they were also in danger from martial artists from the same academy. Along the way, Lin Xian found that many martial artists had gathered in front of them. They stopped in one place and didn't move. It seemed that the golden right hand was there. Lin Xian and the rest moved to the back of the crowd. Lin Xian looked through the crowd. Up ahead, there was a huge stone platform, and on that stone platform, there was a golden figure. Gold-ranked demon beast. Seeing the golden figure, the twin demons of black and white could not help but exclaim, "It's here. It's finally here." Everyone was excited. This was a gold-colored beast, which was definitely the most terrifying existence in the demon-slaying world. Sure enough, a strong demonic aura was emitted from the golden body. That aura caused them to feel apprehensive. Conservatively speaking, this gold-colored demonic beast was equivalent to a human fourth heaven venerable. However, demonic beasts had tough bodies and were incomparably ferocious. Their combat prowess would definitely be even stronger. This gold-ranked demonic beast was stronger than he had imagined. Lin Xian's expression was solemn. He realized that these were all gold-ranked beasts, and they seemed to be even stronger than Shaoli from the Blackwater City. As expected of the strongest existence in the Demon Slayer realm, he is indeed incomparably powerful. However, this also created a problem. This meant that the gold-ranked demonic beast was stronger than any of the warriors present. Unless everyone worked together, it was impossible for a single force to swallow it. Sure enough, seeing that more and more warriors had arrived, Jiang Yin stepped forward and said loudly, "Everyone, I believe that everyone has sensed the strong demonic aura. I don't need to explain how powerful a gold-ranked demonic beast is. I believe that no one would be a match for it alone. If we want to kill this gold-ranked demonic beast, there is only one way, and that is to work together. Otherwise, not only will we not be able to get the demonic core, we might even be killed. Hearing this, everyone fell silent. Indeed, what Jiang Yin said was the truth. They knew how powerful a gold-ranked demonic beast was. Moreover, everyone agreed with the idea of working together. However, there was still a problem that needed to be solved. There was only one gold-ranked demonic beast. If everyone worked together to get the demonic core, who would it belong to? This was the question that everyone was concerned about. Soon, someone raised this objection. Hearing this, Tang Er frowned and said coldly, "It's not too late to discuss this after we kill the gold-ranked demonic beast. Now let's think about how to work together to defeat the gold-ranked demonic beast." Hearing this cold voice, no one dared to refute. At this moment, Jiang Yin looked at Qi Hao, who was not far away. "Brother Qi, what do you think?" "Sure, working together is our only option now." Qi Hao did not object. With Qi Hao's support, the other martial artists nodded in agreement. Moreover, Qi Hao and Jiang Yin were the most powerful martial artists in this place. Following behind them, although they might not be able to get the demonic core, at least they could ensure their safety. Looking at the discussion in front of them, Lin Xian and the rest followed behind the group without saying anything. However, Lin Xian frowned slightly. He had a feeling of uneasiness in his heart. This was his instinctive reaction. He seemed to be able to predict good and bad luck. This feeling was suspenseful, but it was very accurate every time. "Kid, be careful. I feel that this place is a little strange." The dark red divine dragon reminded him through voice transmission. With the dark red divine dragon's words, Lin Xian became even more vigilant. Although he did not know where this uneasiness came from, in his opinion, it was very likely to have something to do with the missing silver-ranked demonic beasts. However, just as he was guessing in his heart, Jiang Yin turned to look at him. "Junior brother Lin, what do you think?" Lin Xian was stunned. He had not expected Jiang Yin to ask him. However, he quickly put away his guesses and said in a low voice, "I'm just a new student. I'll leave this decision to you guys." There was nothing much to say about working together. What he cared about was the final distribution. However, he definitely could not get an answer to this question now. Therefore, he wasn't too concerned about the matter of joining forces. "Yes, although you're a new student, your strength is not weaker than ours. We still need you to be the main force in this collaboration," Jiang Yin said again. Main force. Everyone was stunned and had an incredulous expression. Although Lin Xian was very strong, these people in front of him seemed to be even stronger. For example, Jiang Yin and Qi Hao were super experts in the top 10 of the Mystic Venerate leaderboard. At this moment, such people were actually asking for Lin Xian's opinion. It was indeed shocking. At this moment, Tang Er smiled sinisterly and said, "Junior brother Lin, don't be humble. With your skills and the power of the Lone Star Sword, I'm afraid you're not weaker than any of us. For someone like you not to be the main force, it's really a loss for this operation." Hearing this, everyone suddenly realized that Lin Xian still had the Lone Star Sword. If he used it, he would definitely be able to fight against Jiang Ye and the others. Chapter 956. Be careful, they might want to exhaust your strength, Morong Qingqing said softly. "Don't worry, I know." Lin Xian nodded. However, he had no choice but to join forces to kill the enemy. If he did not agree, he would definitely be ostracized by the other forces. At that time, he might be directly excluded from the team. It seemed that the other party was indeed sinister. However, Lin Xian was not afraid. He would be the main force. The Lone Star Sword was not his only trump card. "How about this? The double ghosts black and white will go with me. Morong, you and senior sister Su will stay behind. I feel that there's something strange about those silver-ranked beasts that disappeared. Be careful." "Okay." Morong Qingqing nodded. Since Lin Xian had made such an arrangement, he must have his own plans. After arranging Morong Qingqing, Suyu, and the others, Lin Xian led the double ghosts black and white to the front. Seeing that Lin Xian was really walking forward, Jiang Yan and the others revealed a meaningful smile. In the next moment he said loudly, "Everyone, since we have decided to join forces, let's not waste any more time. Let's kill this golden right hand as soon as possible." Okay. The other forces nodded and sent out their experts. Those who walked out were all third sky honorables. Lin Xian looked and saw that there were more than 20 people. It was a very powerful lineup. They gathered together and prepared to attack together. The gold-ranked demonic beast seemed to have sensed the crowd's intentions. Its huge body slowly stood up, causing the entire lair to tremble. The gold-ranked beast was huge like a mountain. Its terrifying eyes were shining with golden light like two golden lanterns that shrouded everyone. Its expression was like a dragon looking down at ants. Bang! A disdainful sound was heard. 2 breaths came out of its nose like rolling waves that surged towards everyone. Feeling this strange attack, the surrounding martial artists were shocked. They quickly joined forces to block it. Although it was just a casual attack from the gold-ranked beast, it was extremely terrifying in everyone's eyes. Jiang Yin shouted coldly. His terrifying voice shook the surroundings. Everyone attacked together and killed the beast. Then, he took the lead and made the first move. After him, Qi Hao and Tang Er, these 2 super experts, also fought back with all their might. The 3 of them were the most powerful, and were among the top 10 on the Mystic Sovereign leaderboard. Their reactions were also the fastest. In an instant, the 3 of them launched 3 terrifying attacks, which collided with the chi waves spurted out by the demonic beast. After that, the others also counterattacked. However, their momentum was much weaker than the 3 of them. For a moment, Jiang Yan's entire body floated in the air, his body glowing with a fiery red light. The clouds in front of him gathered to form a terrifying giant palm that slammed forward. Fire God's palm. The fiery red palm was completely red, and there were mysterious runes flickering on it, emitting a terrifying energy. As the palm slammed down, the void was mercilessly torn apart. Terrifying heat roared towards the gold-ranked demonic beasts below. Ghost God Flying Dagger. Frigid Water Sword Art. Tang Er and Qi Hao weren't willing to be outdone either. They both unleashed their powerful ultimate skills. A flying knife pierced through the void like a bolt of lightning. It was incomparably sharp as it flew towards the gold-ranked demonic beast. The angle of its attack was just right for the beast's vital point. On the other side, a terrifying sword Qi was also rapidly slashing down. When the 3 powerhouses attacked together, their momentum was extremely terrifying. Sensing the terrifying attack, the gold-ranked demonic beast on the other side was enraged. It roared into the sky, and a golden light suddenly bloomed from its body. It was like a golden ocean that slammed in all directions. The power was too terrifying. It was not any weaker than a level 4 honorable realm. For a moment, all sorts of terrifying attacks collided with each other. Extremely powerful energy exploded, forming an energy storm. Bang! Countless low sounds were heard. Jiang Yan and the others' bodies shook. They kept retreating in the air, causing the void to crack. Then a look of shock appeared in their eyes. The 3 of them working together couldn't withstand the attack of the gold-ranked demonic beast? This was beyond their expectations. One should know that the 3 of them were super existences in the top 10 of the Mystic Honorable Leaderboard. If they worked together, they could take down an ordinary level 4 honorable realm. However, at that moment, they couldn't do anything to the gold-ranked demonic beast. However, the 3 of them were still fine. They were only pushed back a few steps. However, the martial artists behind them weren't so lucky. The golden wave was as heavy as 10,000 pounds. It slammed into their bodies and sent them flying. Bang! 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 Many martial artists crashed into the wall behind them and spat out mouthfuls of blood. There were also some unlucky ones who were forcefully teleported out of the North-slaying monster realm due to their severe injuries. This was the monster-slaying monster realm's special protection mechanism. When a martial artist's life was in danger, they could be quickly teleported out to ensure that these disciples would not die. However, this also meant that their results in the monster-slaying gathering were 0. They had no chance of entering the monster blood pool. Seeing this, countless people were terrified and kept retreating. It was too terrifying. They couldn't resist at all. It was like an ant facing distance. They couldn't resist at all. Lin Xian's expression was grave. Originally, he had thought that even if these attacks couldn't hurt the gold-ranked demonic beast, they could at least contend with it. However, from the looks of it, the opponent's strength had exceeded his expectations. No, this gold-ranked demonic beast is too terrifying. It seems like we can't resist it. The black-white double ghosts' bodies were also unstable, as they dispelled the terrifying power. At the same time, they felt a lingering fear. If they had been arrogant and came to the golden lair alone, they would have ended up in a miserable state. On the other hand, Lin Xian frowned as he stared at the gigantic gold-ranked demonic beast. Suddenly, he revealed a surprised expression. This was because he discovered that the demonic beast's heart wasn't pure gold. Instead, there was a trace of silver light remaining. This light was very weak, and seemed to be covered by the surrounding golden light. Therefore, if one didn't look carefully, they wouldn't have noticed it. It was only because Lin Xian's soul power was strong that he could discover this abnormality. The silver area. Lin Xian's lips curled up slightly. Perhaps that was the area that hadn't evolved yet. It was also the weak spot of the gold-ranked demonic beast. In order to confirm his thoughts, he stomped his foot and flew into the sky. With a flick of his finger, the wind shadow sword appeared in his hand. Suddenly, Lin Xian's aura changed drastically. He exuded a sharp aura. In the next moment, he waved a sword aura and slashed at the silver area where the gold-ranked demonic beast's heart was. This sword had activated the power of the great dragon sword soul. It was extremely sharp. In an instant, the sword aura was like lightning. It arrived in front of the demonic beast and slashed down fiercely. As if it felt threatened, the gold-ranked demonic beast let out an angry roar. Countless golden lightning bolts appeared around it. Among them, there was a golden lightning bolt that was as thick as a bucket. It turned into a dragon and slammed down on Lin Xian. Junior brother Lin, be careful. Chapter 957. Rumble. The terrifying lightning struck down, annihilating everything in the vicinity. The ground cracked, and a pitch-black hole appeared. Lin Xian's figure was also shrouded and torn to pieces in an instant. Everyone was stunned when they saw this scene, and their hearts were filled with shock and terror. However, in the next moment, they discovered that Lin Xian's figure had once again appeared above their heads. Was that just an afterimage? Countless people were shocked. Even Jiang Yan and the others looked serious. Lin Xian's speed was too fast, beyond their expectations. Although Lin Xian dodged the attack of the golden lightning, the sword chi that he shot out was shattered by the golden demonic beast. Therefore, the two of them were evenly matched in this exchange. But in everyone's eyes, that was an incredible thing. One should know that even Jiang Yan and the others were forced to retreat when they joined forces. However, Lin Xian was now able to contend with a gold-ranked demonic beast. It was simply unbelievable. However, this was not the end. In the next moment, Lin Xian swung his sword again, forming sword chi that was like spring rain, covering the entire sky. Spring rain sword. The sword chi continued to attack endlessly, completely enveloping the gold-ranked demonic beast. Of course, the main target of the sword chi was the silver region on the chest of the gold-ranked beast. Ding ding dang dang. Countless sword chi collided with the huge body of the gold-ranked demonic beast, producing metallic sounds and countless sparks. The gold-ranked demonic beast was incomparably furious. An enormous beast's claw stretched out like a golden mountain, incomparably heavy, pressing down on Lin Xian. Boom! Countless air waves rolled, and the continuous stream of sword chi was blasted away by the golden mountain. However, the specialty of the spring rain sword was that it was continuous. Therefore, even if the gold-colored demonic beast managed to blast away a part of it, there was still a lot of sword chi that gathered and pierced towards the heart. Whoosh! The sword chi was sharp, and it finally pierced the silver area in his heart. Roar! Instantly, the gold demonic beast was enraged. It let out a terrifying roar that made everyone's face turn pale. Not only that, but the berserk demonic energy also surged over like waves. He was furious. The gold-ranked demonic beast seemed to have gone mad. It was terrifying beyond compare. Everyone was stunned. They did not know what Lin Xian had done to provoke the gold-ranked demonic beast to such an extent. However, in the next moment, their eyeballs nearly fell out of their sockets. Because after that, the gold-ranked beast's body began to tremble slightly, and it even took a step back. This scene stunned everyone. They couldn't believe it at all. If one were to say that Lin Xian was able to fight against a gold-ranked demon beast, they would still believe it. That was because his strange speed was shocking. But now, Lin Xian actually managed to push back the golden demon beast with a single slash. This was simply incomprehensible. One had to know that before this, the combined forces of more than 20 of them did not even cause any damage to the gold-ranked beast. They were even injured by the rebound force. Could it be that this kid was hiding his strength? This scene shocked countless people, especially Tang Er and the other members of the Hidden Dragon Society. Their eyelids twitched violently. If that was really the case, didn't that mean that Lin Xian had the strength of a fourth heaven venerable? Impossible. Jiang Yin shook his head decisively. It's impossible for him to possess the strength of a fourth heaven venerable. There must be something we don't know about. Qi Hao nodded as well. It's impossible for him to be so strong. Hearing the two experts' words, the surrounding people calmed down. However, they all looked at Lin Xian with confusion in their eyes. Junior brother Lin, how did you do it? At this moment, Jiang Yin asked. It's simple. Lin Xian shrugged. The area around the gold-ranked demon beast's heart is silver. It probably hasn't completed its evolution yet. That silver area should be its weak point. So as long as you attack that area, you'll be able to achieve twice the effect with half the effort. What, there's a silver area? Lin Xian's words shocked everyone. Then countless gazes turned to the gigantic body in front of them. Soon, someone exclaimed. There really was a silver light. It seemed that the gold-ranked demon beast had not completed its evolution yet. Hearing this news, everyone cheered. No matter how strong the gold-ranked demon beast was, as long as it had a weak point, they would definitely be able to defeat it. Lin Xian alone could defeat the gold-ranked demon beast by attacking its weak point. If they worked together, they would definitely be able to kill the gold-ranked demon beast. However, while they were excited, they were also shocked by Lin Xian. So many of them did not notice this weak point, but Lin Xian was able to do it so quickly. This meant that his perception was absolutely terrifying. Although they were shocked by his powerful perception, Jiang Yin and the rest secretly heaved a sigh of relief. Luckily, Lin Xian's strength was not beyond their imagination. Otherwise, who would be able to compete with them for a gold-ranked demon beast? Just as everyone was shocked, the gold-ranked demon beast was enraged again. It waved its gigantic hand and grabbed at Lin Xian. Everywhere it passed, the stone pillars were all shattered. Lin Xian used the illusionary demon steps. His body was like a phantom as he quickly dodged the attack. Then he let out a long roar. Hurry up and attack. Hearing this, everyone came to their senses and attacked one after another. In an instant, all kinds of terrifying attacks were directed at the gold-ranked demon beast, especially at its heart. After discovering the gold-ranked demon beast's weak point, everyone was extremely excited. Therefore, their attacks were extremely violent. Although the gold-ranked demon beast was powerful, it could not block so many attacks that were directed at its weak points. Its gigantic body finally retreated again, causing the ground to crack. However, the strange thing was that the stone platform under its feet did not crack. Seeing that the gold-ranked demon beast was defeated, everyone's confidence was boosted. They were ecstatic. Naturally, they did not care about the ground. On the other hand, Lin Xian frowned again. Logically speaking, with that kind of power, it was impossible for the ground to be intact. However, the stone platform did not crack at all. There's definitely a problem. Lin Xian secretly paid attention. In the next moment, an earth-shattering roar was heard. The gold-ranked demon beast was completely enraged. Although it had not completed its evolution, and there was a silver region in its heart, its strength was truly at the fourth heaven of the venerable realm. Therefore, even if everyone could defeat it, they could not kill it in a short period of time. Moreover, the opponent's terrifying attack was not something that anyone could withstand. Those warriors were once again impacted. There was no other way. The difference in strength between the opponent and them was too great. They could hurt the opponent, but the opponent could also hurt them. Therefore, when the two sides fought, they were the unlucky ones in the end. In just an instant, many warriors from the academy were injured. However, even more people rushed forward. Both sides seemed to be in a killing frenzy. Attack with full force. Don't be afraid. We have the protection of the demon-slaying realm anyway. We won't die at all. Someone roared. This time, we must kill the gold-ranked demon beast. If we succeed, we will be recorded in history, because we are the first batch to successfully kill a gold-ranked demon beast. Chapter 958. The entire beast's lair was terrifying. Vast spiritual energy surged in all directions. Fortunately, the beast's lair was large and sturdy enough. Otherwise, it would have collapsed long ago. Even so, it was in a dilapidated state, and was in danger of collapsing at any time. Lin Xian held a long sword in his hand. From time to time, he would release streaks of sharp sword qi that swept across the area. Fortunately, the gold-ranked beast had a weakness. Otherwise, if it had completed its evolution, they would not have been able to hurt it. However, it was also a good thing that it had not completed its evolution. Under the frenzied attacks of the group, the gold-ranked beast retreated and roared continuously. Seeing the excitement of countless warriors, their faces were flushed with excitement. They would soon become the first group to kill a gold-ranked beast. However, at this moment, Jiang Yan's lips curled into a cold smile. Then, he quickly sent a message to Qi Hao. Brother Qi, it seems like the gold-ranked beast will not last much longer. Why don't we quickly clear the area, so that no one can take advantage of the situation? Hearing this, Qi Hao nodded and did not object. There was only one gold-ranked beast, so everyone coveted the gold-ranked demon core. If it was like now, when the gold-ranked beast was killed, it would definitely be chaotic. Perhaps someone would take advantage of the chaos and steal the gold-ranked demon core. Therefore, they felt that it was necessary to clear the area. Moreover, the three masters here were from their respective forces. They had brought many masters with them, so if the two forces worked together, it would be enough to kill the beast. Eliminating the other small forces would save them a lot of trouble. As for who the gold-ranked demon core would belong to, it would depend on who was more powerful, him or the Hidden Dragon Society. As a super master ranked 5th on the Mystic Sovereign leaderboard, Qi Hao had absolute confidence. Even if the other party had 2 masters ranked in the top 10, he would not be afraid. Seeing that Qi Hao was the same, Jiang Yan and Tang Er looked at each other and smiled cruelly. They quickly passed down the order. Then, the warriors from the Hidden Dragon Society and Qi Hao began to work together and occupy the front of the battle. Gradually, everyone realized that something was wrong, because the seats near the gold-ranked beast were all occupied by Qi Hao and the people from the Hidden Dragon Society. They formed a circle and formed a line of defense, blocking the other warriors behind them. At first, it was not a big deal. After all, the other party was powerful and had high attacks. They could not say anything. However, seeing that the gold-ranked beast was getting weaker, everyone wanted to rush to the front and wait for the moment to be killed. However, their movements were obstructed, and those martial artists who rushed forward were ruthlessly beaten back. What is the meaning of this? Why won't you let us pass? Immediately, someone shouted angrily, "Why did you block us?" The others were also unhappy. Why? Hee, that's a golden demon beast, which is equivalent to a 4th heaven venerable. The front line is such a dangerous place, so it's best that you don't go there. I'm doing this for your own good. Yao Bin sneered. For our own good? Someone roared. Are you really that kind? It's already good enough that they don't treat us as cannon fodder. That's right. Our lives are ours. We want to go to the front line now. After all, there was no real death in this place, so everyone was not that afraid. Moreover, once they got close to the front line, they would have a chance to seize the golden demon core. This was something that countless people desired. However, Yaobin snorted coldly again. Now is the most crucial moment of killing the gold-ranked demon beast. If you go and cause trouble and disrupt the rhythm of the battle, what should we do? If the gold-ranked demon beast recovers, I'm afraid our efforts will be in vain. So you'd better stay behind obediently. Fuck, you guys just want to eat the fruits of victory for yourselves. No one was a fool. Seeing this scene, they must have guessed what was going on. As soon as these words came out, everyone was angry and stared angrily at the front. Oh, looks like you're not stupid. You know how to eat the fruits alone. Yaobin sneered. He did not care about those angry eyes at all. But what you said is a bit too much. What's your strength, and what's our strength? Can the two of us be compared? Most of the gold-ranked demon beasts were killed by our two families. Why should we give a share to trash like you? I advise you to get lost. If you're lucky, you can still harvest some gold-ranked and silver-ranked demon beasts. Otherwise, you won't get anything here. Seeing the other party being so arrogant, the other warriors were also angry. Many of them quickly rushed forward, but they were soon beaten back. Looking at the warriors who were beaten back, the surrounding people's faces turned pale. However, there was nothing they could do. The difference in strength between the two sides was too big. However, they would not sit still and wait for death. We can even fight against gold-ranked demon beasts together. Why should we be afraid of them? Suddenly, the exposed warriors grouped together and formed a large force. They wanted to rush forward. At the front line, Jiang Yan and the others who were fighting against the gold-ranked demon beast sneered. He quickly sent a message. Then the warriors who were following him retreated. There was a gap in the defense line near the gold-ranked demon beasts. Suddenly, the gold-ranked demon beast's terrifying attack leaked out and rushed toward the furious warriors. Boom! The void shook and the airwaves tumbled. Those warriors screamed as they were slapped back by the gold-ranked demon beasts. Looking at those warriors who fell to the ground and wailed, Yaobin laughed wildly again. Did you see that? We don't have to do anything, and you can't do it. You want to go to the front line? Do you have the strength? I advise you to stay here obediently. Otherwise, you'll lose your lives. Yaobin sneered. Then, he looked through the crowd and looked at Lin Xian and the others. His eyes were full of provocation. Damn, those shameless people want to take the fruits for themselves. Kid, let's rush over and kill them. The twin ghosts of Black and White were enraged when they saw this. Lin Xian shook his head. Don't be rash. Can you defeat the three of them? Even if we can't let them get the gold-ranked demon beast's cores so easily. The Black-White double ghosts were furious. They had put in a lot of effort before, but now they were excluded. No one could stand it. Are we just going to watch them kill the gold-ranked demon beasts? The two of them were not convinced. Don't worry. It's not that easy to get those things. Lin Xian sneered. In fact, he had planned to attack. But soon, he received a message from the Dark Red Divine Dragon. The Dark Red Divine Dragon told him that there was something wrong with the stone platform under the gold-ranked demon beast's feet. Therefore, Lin Xian did not attack. How is it? Did you find it? What exactly is inside that stone platform? Lin Xian asked through voice transmission. It's something good. See for yourself. The Dark Red Divine Dragon said. At the same time, he quickly set up a formation and shared what he saw with Lin Xian. Chapter 959. Through the array, Lin Xian saw an image. In the image there were countless floating light spots. Some were the size of walnuts, and some were the size of fists. These light spots all emitted a silver-white light. They were all silver demon cores. Lin Xian's pupil shrank, and he almost bit his tongue off. Even though he was used to seeing big scenes, he was still shocked. Because in the image, there were more than 1,000 silver-white light spots. This meant that there were more than 1,000 silver demon cores. In the next moment, Lin Xian raised his head and stared at the stone platform under the golden demon beast's feet with a burning gaze. He didn't expect that the inconspicuous stone platform would contain so many silver demon cores. No wonder the stone platform wasn't destroyed by such a terrifying battle. Lin Xian's eyes lit up as he touched his chin. How could he take out the silver demon cores from the stone platform? He wouldn't do something as stupid as taking action directly. If those people knew that there were so many silver demon cores in the stone platform, they would definitely go crazy. Therefore, he had to think of a secret way to secretly take the silver demon cores. Thinking of this, Lin Xian stepped back and took out the little white monkey from the demon beast pouch. Wu Ji, the little white monkey waved its white fists with a face full of dissatisfaction. Help me this time. Don't worry, you won't be short of benefits, Lin Xian said. The little white monkey gestured and started to state its conditions to Lin Xian. Okay, I promise you. Spirit fruit, right? When the time comes, I will definitely get it for you. Lin Xian said, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. The little white monkey was satisfied. It then took off the little bowl on its head and found a hidden place to act. The dark red dragon also let out a strange cry and quickly flew out. It set up an array and hid the little white monkey's figure. The two guys secretly acted and were very excited. Lin Xian secretly let out a sigh of relief. He had seen the power of the little white monkey's treasure bowl. It shouldn't be a problem to take those demon cores. He looked at the Hidden Dragon League's martial artists, who were still fighting in front of him, and sneered. This group of greedy fellows wanted to monopolize the gold demon and exclude everyone else. However, what they didn't know was that under their feet, there was a large number of silver demon cores. The value of those silver demon cores was probably no less than that of a gold demon core. If those people knew that such a huge treasure had brushed past them, they would probably vomit blood from regret. Thinking of this scene, Lin Xian felt very comfortable. He had long since found those fellows an eyesore. If it wasn't for the sake of attacking the golden lair, he might have already attacked those people. However, none of that mattered now. Collecting those silver-ranked demon cores in secret was the way to go. Not long after, an earth-shattering sound rang out, bringing with it a thick demonic aura that pierced through the heavens and the earth. The golden demonic beast in front of them roared towards the sky, and its huge golden eyes suddenly flashed with a hint of scarlet light. Not only that, but the demonic aura on the surface of its body was also burning, which was extremely terrifying. His aura was much stronger than before. With a sweep of its tail, it formed a huge arc and immediately sent the surrounding martial artists flying. Even Jiang Yan and the others were shocked, and they quickly used their movement techniques to dodge, because the attack just now was beyond their ability to withstand. What's going on? Isn't that bastard about to die? Why is it suddenly so angry? Is it the final radiance of the setting sun? Jiang Yan, Tang Er, and the others' expressions were extremely ugly. The attack just now had seriously injured many of their subordinates. Qi Hao's expression was also ugly, because some of his subordinates had also been swept by the huge tail, and now they were all bleeding profusely. The three of them looked at each other, puzzled. They didn't know why the extremely weak golden demonic beast would suddenly erupt with such an aura. In the distance, Lin Xian saw this scene, and his eyebrows twitched. His expression was also very serious, because he thought of a possibility. Could it be that the golden demonic beast found out that we were secretly stealing the silver demon cores? That's very likely. The more Lin Xian thought about it, the more he felt that this was the case. At the same time, he sent a voice transmission. Ruffian dragon, how many have you two gotten? Damn, we've only gotten 1/3 of them. That guy is really sensitive. He actually found out. The dark red divine dragon's face was filled with displeasure. 1/3. Lin Xian was shocked. He didn't expect the two of them to be so fast. No wonder the golden demonic beast was so angry. 1/3 was equivalent to 300 to 400 silver demon cores. Thinking of this, his heart began to beat faster. He didn't expect that he would be able to obtain 300 to 400 silver demon cores in such a short time. This was dozens of times more than what he had obtained before. He had struck it rich this time. Lin Xian was ecstatic. Even if they were discovered now, it didn't matter anymore. The golden demonic beast was hiding. Its body was emitting a terrifying demonic qi, and its terrifying gaze swept across the surroundings. 2 rays of golden and red light shot out from its eyes, and they were like lasers, quickly searching around. Seeing this, Lin Xian's heart skipped a beat. He quickly sent a voice transmission to Ruffian Dragon and the dark red divine dragon to hide. Don't worry, kid. Don't you know the formation I made? The dark red divine dragon patted its chest and said, that guy won't find out. As expected, the golden demonic beast's gaze swept past the place where the dark red divine dragon and the dark white divine monkey were. But it didn't stop. Seeing this, Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. After looking around, the golden demonic beast's huge eyes revealed a hint of suspicion. It didn't find any enemies. This made it very confused. It clearly felt that the number of silver demon cores under its feet had decreased. Was it an illusion? The golden demonic beast sensed again. However, in the next moment, it felt that the number of silver demon cores under its feet was still decreasing. It was furious. It raised its foot and slammed it down hard. Rumble! In an instant, the entire ground shook and cracked into countless pieces. Cracks spread in all directions, and the stone platform under its feet also shattered. Everyone was stunned. They didn't know what the golden demonic beast was doing. But soon, they opened their mouths wide, and their breathing became rapid. The huge stone platform shattered, and a huge black hole appeared under the golden demonic beast's feet. Inside the black hole, there were countless silver balls of light floating. Seeing the silver balls of light, everyone was stunned. Then their eyes turned red as they stared ahead. This was because they realized that the floating silver balls of light were actually demonic beasts, and they were all silver demon cores. One silver ball of light represented one silver demon core. There were so many silver balls of light, and there were at least 700 to 800 of them. In other words, there were 700 to 800 silver demon cores. Everyone went crazy. They had never seen so many silver demon cores in their lives. Jiang Yan and the others were also stunned. They didn't expect that there would be so many silver demon cores in that inconspicuous stone platform. Chapter 960. Jiang Yan and the rest were stunned when they saw the sky full of silver-grade demon cores. They had fought so hard for half a day, and still could not take down a gold-grade demon beast. However, they did not expect that there was a treasure that was as valuable as a gold-grade demon core in front of them. If the gold-grade demon beast had not blasted it open, they would not have known. They would still be in the dark. Lin Xian was also stunned. He did not expect that the gold-grade demon beast would blast open the stone platform. It seemed that it was really desperate. Looking at the sky full of silver-grade demon cores, everyone was in a daze. Then they burst into loud cheers. Brothers, those are silver-grade demon cores. Charge! The surrounding martial artists roared crazily. In the next moment, countless figures soared into the sky. The scene that appeared in the golden lair truly shocked all the martial artists. The sky full of silver-grade demon cores floated in the sky like stars, emitting a silver-white light. This scene deeply stimulated the surrounding martial artists. Countless people soared into the sky. There were so many demon cores in the sky. As long as they could get one, their trip would not be in vain. Jiang Yan and the rest were also excited. Bai Yi's demon core was not an ordinary item. Even they were very tempted. Everyone listen up. Attack! Collect as many silver-grade demon cores as possible. Jiang Yan shouted. Yes. Immediately, the martial artists of the Hidden Dragon League agreed. They were all excited. Then, they joined forces and soared into the sky. On the other side, Qi Hao also soared into the sky with his men. He would not miss such a good opportunity. Lin Xian was also surprised. He did not expect such a scene. Beside him, the black-white double demons were excited. They laughed and said, Kid, do you want to join forces? No, you guys go first. Lin Xian said quickly. Then he said to Su Yu and the rest, Senior Sister Su, you guys can go too. But be careful. Qingcheng, you go with Senior Sister Su and the rest. The black-white double demons were stunned. They looked at Lin Xian in surprise. They did not understand what he was doing. However, they didn't think too much about it. The opportunity in front of them was very rare. If they missed it, they wouldn't have another chance. Therefore, they ignored Lin Xian and soared into the sky. Su Yu and the others, as well as Morong Qingcheng, formed a small team and prepared to fight. Lin Xian didn't move, because he didn't need to. The speed at which the little snow-white monkey collected it was much faster than the martial artists who rushed up to snatch it. At this moment the sky was in chaos. Countless people were fighting fiercely. However, the Hidden Dragon Society and Chi Hao relied on their powerful teams to forcefully obtain an advantageous position. However, the Silver Demon Core was not so easy to obtain. The Gold Demon Beast roared and opened its bloody mouth, forming a huge devouring force that quickly surrounded the entire sky. In the blink of an eye, all the silver-ranked demon cores were enveloped and flew towards the bloody mouth. Bastard, you're courting death. Seeing this, Jiang Yin was enraged. He quickly waved his palm and struck out a fiery red palm shadow. Tang Er, Chi Hao, and the others all moved, wanting to stop the silver demon core. This was an excellent opportunity, and they would not allow a gold-ranked beast to ruin it. Boom! In the sky, countless forces collided with each other, creating a terrifying energy wave. Those silver-ranked demon cores that were flying backwards were forcefully pulled back. However, half of them were still swallowed by the gold-ranked beast, while the other half were scattered. Seeing the gold-ranked beast swallow more than half of the silver-ranked demon cores, countless people felt their hearts ache. However, they did not have the time to find trouble with the gold-ranked beast, so they could only fight for the remaining demon cores. Jiang Yin snorted coldly, his fiery red palm stretched out, bringing with it endless heat waves. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The sky darkened, and a huge palm appeared, grabbing towards the white-robed demon core. Little White, get it! Below, Lin Xian saw this scene and quickly said, Wu Ji. The little snow-white monkey nodded. Then, it held the shabby little bowl and mumbled something, looking like a little immortal. Boom! In the sky, the fiery red palm fell, covering the 5 silver-ranked demon cores in an instant. Then the huge palm clasped together and retreated. Seeing this, Jiang Yin revealed a satisfied smile. However, he did not know that the moment he clasped his hands together, 3 demon cores had mysteriously disappeared. The fiery red palm retreated, leaving a long trail of light behind it. Soon it returned to Jiang Yan's side. Then, the huge palm of light spread out rapidly. What? This is impossible. When Jiang Yan saw the 2 remaining silver-ranked demon cores in his palm, he was stunned. How is this possible? His eyes were filled with disbelief. He clearly remembered that he had caught 5 silver-ranked demon cores, but now, there were only 2 left. What about the other 3? He could not understand, and he did not know how the 3 demon cores were lost. Looking at the 2 remaining silver-ranked demon cores in his hand, Jiang Yan's face turned black. Although he did not understand what was going on, it was obvious that someone had snatched more demon cores from him. Someone had dared to go against him, which made him furious. However, he could not find anyone to vent his anger on, so he could only work harder to grab the silver-ranked demon cores around him. However, he swore to himself that he would find the person who had stolen from him and tear him to pieces. Actually, it was not just Jiang Yan. Tang Er, Chi Hao, and the others had also encountered the same strange situation. This made them furious. They were super powerhouses ranked in the top 10 of the Mystic Sovereign leaderboard, so no one dared to provoke them. Now, however, someone had dared to play tricks in front of them and steal their demon cores. This was undoubtedly a provocation to them. The 3 of them stood in the air, their gazes piercingly cold and filled with murderous intent. They wanted to see who had dared to secretly attack them. The other ancient martial art practitioners were fighting for their demon cores, and Lin Xian had also joined the fight to not attract attention. Jiang Yan and the other 2 had not discovered the person who had secretly attacked them, which made their faces even gloomier. In the process of fighting, the most ferocious beast was the gold-ranked demon beast. It was powerful, and had snatched the most silver-ranked demon cores. Previously, when everyone had worked together, they had been able to contend with it. However, in such a chaotic situation where everyone was fighting for themselves, they were no match for the gold-ranked demon beast. Suddenly, Lin Xian frowned because he had received a voice transmission from the dark red divine dragon. Kid, we've snatched a demon core with a faint golden glow. What? A faint golden glow?
Hearing that, Lin Xian's pupil shrank. The golden glow was enough to show how terrifying it was. He guessed that the owner of the faint golden demon beast must be an extremely terrifying existence. At the very least, it had the qualifications to evolve into a true gold-ranked demon beast. In fact, the faint golden demon core had been snatched from the mouth of the gold-ranked demon beast. Chapter 961. It was left behind by one of its competitors. Back then, only the two of them had the possibility of evolving into a gold-ranked demon core. Hence, a fierce battle broke out between the two of them. In the end, it was the winner while its competitor was defeated and turned into a pale gold demon core. This light golden demon core was extremely tempting to him because the energy contained within it was too great. Under normal circumstances, it would not be the time for it to consume the pale gold demon core. Hence, it kept it and waited for the right time to consume it. But now, it had mysteriously lost most of its silver-ranked demon cores. It could not even keep the rest of its demon cores. Hence, it could not wait any longer. It had to act quickly. However, just as it was about to consume the demon core, it realized that it was gone. It had been snatched away by someone else. This was unbearable for it. The gold-ranked demon beast was enraged. It let out an angry roar, and the demon chi on its body began to burn. Its entire body shone with golden light, and turned into thousands of golden tentacles that flew in all directions. In an instant, countless silver-ranked demon cores were caught by the golden tentacles and brought back. After obtaining nearly 100 silver-ranked demon cores, the gold-ranked demon beast suddenly stopped moving. It stood there like a statue. Seeing that the gold-ranked demon beast had given up on fighting for the demon cores, the surrounding martial artists heaved a sigh of relief. Then, they sped up the process because there were less than 100 silver-ranked demon cores left. However, they did not notice that at the gold-ranked demon beast's heart, the area that was originally glowing with a silver-white light was slowly disappearing. It was replaced by a blinding golden light. Following that ray of light was a terrifying aura. In the next moment, the gold-ranked demon beast's aura exploded once again. Like a volcanic eruption, it spread out in all directions. The ground nearby split open in an instant, and the huge stone pillars in the surroundings shattered with a loud bang, scattering all over the ground. Feeling the fluctuation of energy, everyone's expression changed. Jiang Yan Tang air. And the rest looked even worse because this energy was much stronger than before. It was far beyond their ability to resist. Lin Xian frowned as his heart raced. He realized that the silver-white area at the gold-ranked demon beast's heart had disappeared. In other words, the gold-ranked demon beast had completed its evolution and no longer had any weaknesses. This was bad news. Previously, they were able to fight against the gold-ranked demon beast because it had not completed its evolution. But now this weakness had disappeared. In other words, even if they joined forces again, they would not be able to contend against the other party. Not only that, the aura of the gold-ranked demonic beast was extremely strong, and its strength had also increased by a large margin. It had become a true overlord. There was no way they could fight against such a demonic beast. As he thought of this, Lin Xian's scalp went numb. Without any hesitation, he quickly transmitted his voice. "Ruffian Long, quickly stop and leave." At the same time, he sent a voice transmission to the double ghosts of Black and White, Morong Qingqing, Su Yu, and the others, asking them to leave as soon as possible. Then, Lin Xian stomped his foot and turned into a sword radiance. He brought the dark red dragon and the little monkey out of the lair quickly. Behind him, the twin ghosts of Black and White, Morong Qingqing, and the others followed closely behind. Seeing Lin Xian and the others leaving, everyone was stunned and surprised. One had to know that there were still plenty of silver demon cores in the sky, and the other party had actually left just like that. It was just too strange, because in their opinion, no matter how strong the gold-ranked demonic beast was, they would still be able to deal with it. After all, the silver-ranked demonic cores were very tempting. However, in the next moment, they understood why Lin Xian wanted to escape. Rumble. The void trembled,
and a huge golden claw descended from the sky and slapped forward at a high speed. This attack was very terrifying. It was like a huge golden mountain, and it fell from the sky with a terrifying force. Waves of air rolled, and demonic chi filled the air. The void was instantly torn apart, and the terrifying force enveloped everyone. Bang! Those martial artists who were close to it could not resist at all. In an instant, they were blasted away and vomited blood. They were severely injured. In the next moment, a white light appeared on their bodies, and they were forcefully transported out of the monster-slaying realm. Seeing this, everyone's expression changed. This was because they realized that the gold-ranked demonic beast was too powerful at this moment. It was not something that they could fight against. Even if they joined forces, they would not be able to resist it. Jiang Yin and the others also looked gloomy. They also realized that the gold-ranked demonic beast had completely evolved. This made them feel indignant. They were so close to killing the gold-ranked demonic beast. Once they killed the gold-ranked demonic beast, not only would they obtain the extremely precious gold-ranked demonic core, but they would also become famous. After all, no one had ever killed a gold-ranked demonic beast before this. But now it was impossible. Jiang Yan and the others were frustrated that they had lost such a great opportunity. Run! It was unknown who screamed, but everyone immediately rushed towards the exit like a swarm of locusts. Behind them, the gold-ranked demonic beast roared into the sky, and a terrifying sound wave burst out. The beast waved its claw, and the golden demonic chi surged and tore the entire demonic beast lair apart. Bang! 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 Countless huge rocks fell, and dust flew. The extremely sturdy gold-ranked demonic beast lair collapsed at this moment. The gold-ranked demonic beast looked around. 2 beams of yellow light shot out from its huge eyes. They were like demonic spears that pierced forward. They pierced through the void like 2 golden dragons. Seeing the gold-ranked demonic beast attack, everyone's scalp went numb. They used all their strength and ran for their lives. However, those martial artists who were too slow were still hit by the golden spears. They were severely injured, and their bodies emitted white light as they left the monster-slaying realm. Everyone evacuate! Jiang Yan's face was solemn as he led the people from the Hidden Dragon League to retreat quickly. On the other side, Chi Hao also reorganized his team and left quickly. This force was not something they could withstand. Bang! From the ruins, countless figures shot up into the sky. They looked panicked and were in a sorry state. After they left the lair, they quickly flew in all directions. Roar! The monstrous beasts on the periphery received the order and frantically tried to block the monstrous beasts. They threw themselves at the martial artists without any regard for their lives. The gold-ranked demonic beast also rushed out in an instant. The ground trembled rapidly, and cracks spread out for thousands of miles. It was a shocking sight. The gold-ranked demonic beast was like a huge golden mountain. It moved quickly, and every step it took caused the ground to crack. It looked around as if it was looking for something. Suddenly, it stared in one direction, and its eyes were filled with anger. Then, it roared into the sky and flew up. Rumble! Like a golden mountain, it rushed into the sky. Damn! Why is that thing chasing us? At this moment, Lin Xian and the others who escaped first changed their expressions. Especially the black-white double ghosts, they cursed out loud. They quickly changed their direction, trying to shake off the gold-ranked demonic beast. However, as they changed their direction, the gold-ranked demonic beast behind them also changed its direction. It was not going to let them go. Chapter 962. They realized that they were being targeted. Otherwise, they would have been able to shake off the golden beast by changing directions so many times. Didn't they see that all the other warriors were safe? Only they were still being chased by the golden beast. Seeing this, Lin Xian's face darkened. He guessed that the gold-ranked demonic beast was here for the pale gold demonic core. Let's split up. I think the golden beast is after me. Coming for you? Kid, what did you do to make the golden beast go berserk? And its resentment is still there? The double demons of black and white widened their eyes and stared at Lin Xian in confusion. Looking at everyone's gaze, Lin Xian let out a bitter laugh. It was really hard to explain this matter in such a short period of time. Anyway, they would just have to split up for now. He would go and lure the gold-ranked demonic beast away, and the rest of you would take the opportunity to leave. But it's too dangerous. Su Yu and the others were worried. Don't worry. That beast can't hurt me in terms of speed. Lin Xian smiled confidently. However, Morong Qingchen said with a firm voice, I will go with you. Okay. Lin Xian nodded and did not reject. Morong Qingchen's strength was not weaker than his. Even if they were being chased, she would not be hurt. Plus, if the two of them worked together, they might be able to counterattack. Then Lin Xian and Morong Qingchen quickly got up and flew in the other direction like shooting stars. They disappeared into the sky in a flash. In the next moment, the golden beast roared to the sky. It gave up on the double demons of black and white, and turned to chase after Lin Xian and Morong Qingchen. Damn, it's really going after them. The double demons of black and white, and the others were stunned. They did not expect the golden beast to go after Lin Xian. What did this kid do? Why is he being chased by a golden beast? The double demons of black and white, and the others could not figure it out. But they did not think about it anymore. Lin Xian had given them a chance to escape, and they had to make good use of it. In a flash, the double ghosts of black and white, Su Yu, and the others flew to a safe place. This scene was naturally seen by the other cultivators. Immediately, many of them stopped in their tracks, their faces filled with bewilderment. This was because they were also confused as to why the gold-ranked beast only wanted to kill Lin Xian. There must be something wrong with it. Jiang Yin frowned as he watched Lin Xian's departing figure. What do you think? He looked at Tang Er. There's a problem. That brat was the first to escape, which means that he must have sensed something. Tang Er said. Furthermore, that gold-ranked demonic beast did not hesitate to reveal so many silver-ranked demonic cores. It must have discovered something, and was forced to evolve. I'm guessing that the kid might have something in his hands. Furthermore, that thing is very important to the gold-ranked demon beast, Second Tang said. That's possible. Jiang Yin nodded. No matter what, let's go and take a look. After all, the gold-ranked demonic beast's target is that kid. We shouldn't be attacked. With the gold-ranked demonic beast's speed, I'm afraid it won't be able to catch up to Lin Xian. However, we can secretly do something to make him and the gold-ranked demonic beast fight. When the two sides are almost done fighting, we'll make our move. The Lone Star Sword and those demonic cores in Lin Xian's hands will all be ours. Oh right, isn't the falling star with him too? You can snatch it from him when the time comes. Jiang Yin smiled cruelly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Tang Er sneered as well. The two of them discussed for a while. Then in a flash, they chased after the gold-ranked demonic beast. Following them were Yao Bin and a few other elite disciples with valiant strength. On the other side, Qi Hao was equally shocked. However, after seeing Jiang Yin and Tang Er's actions, he decided to follow them. He wanted to see what Lin Xian had that could attract the gold-ranked demonic beast. Of course, if there was a chance, he would not mind snatching it from him. On the vast plains, two figures were flying at a low altitude like shooting stars. Above the two of them, there was a huge black shadow moving at high speed. It was like a dark cloud, dark and dense, bringing with it an endless gust of wind. If one took a closer look, they would realize that the huge black shadow was actually a mountain. At this moment, it was forcefully uprooted and thrown out like a rock. The huge mountain whistled and smashed towards the two figures in the distance. However, it did not succeed. The two figures were very agile and dodged it in an instant. Boom! The mountain landed on the ground, creating a terrifying crater. Countless huge rocks were sent flying, cutting down some of the surrounding trees. Roar! An angry roar was heard. Then, the ground shook rapidly as if there was an earthquake. Countless cracks spread across the ground. Accompanied by this terrifying momentum was a huge golden figure. This figure was naturally the gold-ranked demonic beast. The two figures flying in front of it were Lin Xian and Morong Qingchen. The gold-ranked demonic beast roared angrily when its attack missed. Golden light shone from its body, forming countless tentacles. It quickly grabbed the towering trees nearby and uprooted them. Buzz! The ground shook. Countless towering trees were uprooted. Under the effect of the golden tentacles, they turned into spears and swords and flew into the distance. The gold-ranked demonic beast bent its body slightly and opened its bloody mouth. It quickly absorbed the spiritual energy around it. Then it formed a huge golden ball of light and spat it out. The ball of light trembled and the runes on it shone. A thick golden pillar of light shot out from the center and quickly flew into the distance. Wherever it passed, the rocks and trees were all shattered. Nothing could stop it. In front, Lin Xian felt the energy fluctuation behind him. His face changed and he quickly flashed away. In an instant he created countless figures. Morong Qingqing beside him was like a purple lightning. She was extremely fast. The two of them used their unique skills and narrowly avoided the attack of the gold-ranked demonic beast. Damn, this guy is too hard to deal with. Lin Xian frowned. Although the opponent's speed was not as fast as theirs, it had endless power. Its long-range attacks could hurt them. For example, the golden pillar of light just now was extremely fast. An ordinary level 3 honorable would not be able to dodge it. Even a level 4 honorable would be hit if they were careless. If they were hit, they would probably turn into a bloody mist. Only Lin Xian and Morong Qingqing, both of whom had mastered extreme speed movement skills, were able to dodge the attack in such a short time. However, it was also very dangerous for them. The gold-ranked demonic beast did not seem to know fatigue. It kept shooting out golden pillars of light, threatening their safety. If they could not dodge it once, they would die. It's indeed a gold-ranked demonic beast. It's too hard to deal with. Morong Qingqing looked serious. Chapter 963. Indeed, they could still escape from a gold-ranked demonic beast, but if the other party attracted another gold-ranked demonic beast, they would be completely finished. Lin Xian's face was also cold. You've gone too far. If you chase me again, I'll kill you. He had already decided to fly for a while longer. If the other party still didn't give up, then he would have no choice but to summon the dragon sword soul. Although this would cause him to be exhausted for a while and enter a weakened state, he couldn't care less. Otherwise, if an overlord-ranked gold-ranked demonic beast continued to follow them, it would be very troublesome. If that happened, they wouldn't be able to do anything else, and they might not even be able to cross the final demonic blood pool. Just as Lin Xian was about to summon the dragon sword soul and fight for his life, he suddenly felt something move in his body. Lin Xian was shocked. While flying at top speed, he sent a part of his soul into his body to investigate. Soon, he discovered the source of the trembling. It was the mysterious small sword. The mysterious small sword didn't normally move. It would only move when he was on the verge of death. Therefore, the trembling now made Lin Xian very surprised. However, after careful examination, he discovered that it wasn't the mysterious small sword that was causing it, but the black thousand beast cauldron inside it. Seeing the thousand beast cauldron trembling slightly, Lin Xian swallowed his saliva. What's going on? He was extremely surprised. The slight trembling of the black thousand beast cauldron inside his body attracted Lin Xian's attention. He was extremely excited. One had to know that the thousand beast cauldron was a complete earth-ranked treasure. Its power was unimaginable. However, it was actually trembling at this moment. Lin Xian was bewildered. Without moving recklessly, Lin Xian transmitted his voice and discussed with the dark red dragon. Ruffian Dragon had lived for thousands of years and had seen many things. It should know something. After hearing this, the dark red dragon fell into deep thought. I don't think the thousand beast cauldron wants to attack, right? Attack? Lin Xian was surprised. Yes, the thousand beast cauldron. Judging from its name, it should be related to demonic beasts. The gold-ranked demonic beast behind it is an extremely powerful existence. Perhaps it has attracted the thousand beast cauldron's interest. You're still interested in the 10,000 years cauldron. Lin Xian rolled its eyes. It wasn't even human, so why would it be interested? Kid, don't ever look down on an earth-ranked treasure. Treasures of that level all have their own treasure spirits. Artifact spirit? Lin Xian was shocked. The so-called weapon spirit was an existence that was similar to a life form produced by the weapon itself. This sort of thing was only recorded in legends. It was impossible for ordinary weapons to give birth to an artifact spirit, but this was not necessarily the case for an Earthstep artifact. It could be said to be a rare treasure of heaven and earth, and there was a high possibility that it could give birth to an artifact spirit. The dark red divine dragon did not continue the discussion about the artifact spirit. Instead, it quickly sent a voice transmission. "Kid, use your soul power to communicate with the 10,000 Beast Cauldron. You might be able to subdue that big fool behind us." "All right." Lin Xian nodded. Although he didn't know what the final result would be, he still decided to give it a try. After all, this method sounded much safer. Moreover, after bringing out the great dragon sword soul, he would enter a period of weakness. Unless it was absolutely necessary, he would not bring out the great dragon sword soul. "Qingcheng, I have a method that might be able to subdue the gold-ranked demonic beast behind us. But I need some time," Lin Xian said in a deep voice. "Don't worry, leave it to me." Morong Qingcheng smiled. If others heard this, their jaws would definitely drop. One had to know that this was a gold-ranked demonic beast. It was incomparably powerful. Even Jiang Yan and the others did not dare to go against it. However, at this moment, Morong Qingcheng was very determined to agree. Originally, Lin Xian was still a little worried, but now that he saw Morong Qingcheng's confident smile, he was relieved. His figure flashed, and he came to an open space. He quickly sat down cross-legged, and the dark red divine dragon carefully arranged a small defensive array around him. Next, Lin Xian closed his eyes and quickly poured his soul power into his body, trying to mobilize the 10,000 life cauldron. Seeing Lin Xian meditating with his eyes closed, as if he was preparing for something, Morong Qingcheng took a deep breath. Her delicate little face was filled with seriousness. In the next moment, she circulated the spiritual power in her body. Countless purple clouds surrounded her, as if purple clouds were coming from the east. Not long after the two of them landed, the gold-ranked demonic beast behind them rushed over. Before it arrived, a terrifying roar could be heard, shaking the heavens and the earth. The gold-ranked demonic beast walked to a nearby mountain and quickly pulled the entire mountain up, smashing it towards Lin Xian. Boom! The huge mountain shook violently and fell with unparalleled force. "Humph!" Morong Qingcheng snorted coldly and waved her jade-like hands, striking out a series of palm shadows. Those palm shadows carried a mysterious aura as they swept across the void and quickly tore apart the incoming mountain. "Silly brother, hurry up and leave, or you will really piss me off." Morong Qingcheng's red lips moved slightly, her voice carrying a trace of coldness. The gold-ranked demonic beast could not understand human language. However, even if it could understand, it would not give up so easily. Seeing that the two of them had stopped running, the gold-ranked demonic beast's huge eyes lit up with excitement. It stared at Lin Xian, who was sitting cross-legged, with a devilish glow in its eyes. In the next moment, it stretched out its golden beast claws and clawed downwards. Golden light shone brightly as the huge beast's claws tore through the heavens and earth. It was extremely terrifying. Before it landed, the aftershocks had already left 5 bottomless cracks in the ground. Looking at this scene, Morong Qingcheng took a deep breath and quickly formed a seal with her jade-like hands. A terrifying aura rippled out from her jade-like fingers. "Sky-flipping seal." Along with this voice, a purple seal flew out from Morong Qingcheng's hand and rushed into the sky. The seal grew rapidly in the air. Purple clouds surrounded it, forming 4 ferocious true dragons, circling in all directions. In the next moment, the purple sky-flipping seal and the gold-ranked demonic beast clashed violently. Boom, boom, boom. A terrifying sound rang out, shaking the heavens and earth. The wind howled, covering the entire sky. The two forces persisted in the air, fighting against each other. In the end, the gold-ranked demonic beast's claw grew dimmer, while the purple light grew brighter. Soon, the purple sky-flipping seal let out a low dragon's roar and quickly blasted the gold-ranked demonic beast away. Then, it charged towards the gold-ranked demonic beast in an even more violent manner. This scene was witnessed by Jiang Yan, Qi Haoho, and the others who had just arrived. Instantly, their mouths were agape and they were dumbfounded. They could not believe that the gold-ranked demonic beast's attack could be repelled. One should know that the gold-ranked demonic beast was no longer the demonic beast with a weakness. Tower had completely evolved and was now a true overlord. Even so, it was still repelled. Chapter 964. Before this, they were only concerned about Morong Qingcheng's beauty and identity. Jiang Yan and the rest did not care about the rest. However, it seemed that they were wrong. They were terribly wrong. The beautiful girl in front of them was definitely not weaker than them. She might even be stronger. At least, they were not confident that they could repel the gold-ranked demonic beast's attack in one move. However, the beautiful girl in front of them had done it. Not only that, but what shocked them even more was yet to come. The cataclysmic seal's golden beast's claw was repelled. Then, it attacked the gold-ranked demonic beast in an even more ferocious manner. On top of it, 4 purple dragons were circling around, emitting an endless amount of light. What followed was a low dragon's roar. Under everyone's shocked gazes, the cataclysmic seal struck the gold-ranked demonic beast. Rumble! Thunder rumbled as the sky was torn apart. Terrifying purple clouds filled the air, drowning everything in front of them. Energy surged as a gale swept across. It was as if the world was about to be destroyed. All of a sudden, a golden figure flew out from the boundless purple chi and retreated continuously. Every time he took a step back, he left a deep footprint on the ground. What? It was repelled. That's impossible. How could a gold-ranked demonic beast be repelled? What kind of move is that purple square seal? It's so terrifying. In an instant, Jiang Yan, Qi Hao, and the rest exclaimed. Their eyes were filled with shock. If blocking the gold-ranked demonic beast's attack had shocked them, then repelling the gold-ranked demonic beast had left them dumbfounded. Blocking an attack and repelling a gold-ranked demonic beast were two different concepts. They did not expect this beautiful girl to be so terrifying. She could even fight against a gold-ranked demonic beast. She really repelled the gold-ranked demonic beast. How is that possible? Jiang Yan and the rest narrowed their eyes. That purple palm seal was definitely not simple. To be able to repel a gold-ranked demonic beast, it was most likely an earth-rank martial art. Qi Hao frowned as well. Firstly, the purple palm seal's power was too terrifying. Secondly, Morong Qingcheng was the proud daughter of a sovereign family. She would definitely have an earth-rank martial art in her hands. Now it seemed that it was most likely the purple palm seal. However, this gold-ranked demonic beast was not to be trifled with. Especially after its evolution. The strength it displayed was even stronger than that of an ordinary 4th-level venerable. The gold-ranked demonic beast roared angrily. Streaks of scarlet light began to appear in its eyes. It was so angry that it went berserk once again. It had no choice. That despicable brat had snatched away its vital demon core, forcing it to evolve ahead of time. And now, seeing that he was about to obtain the light gold demon core, it would be very useful for him to increase his strength in the future. But now it was blocked by someone. The other party was just a human girl. The gold-ranked beast did not take her seriously at all. In its opinion, it only needed one palm to tear this young man apart. However, it did not expect the other party to be so powerful. Not only did he block its attack, he even forced it back. This made it unbearable. In the next moment, the gold-colored demonic beast let out a furious roar. The gold-colored demonic aura on its body burned once again. Suddenly, even the void was distorted. Traces of golden light quickly spread out, forming a golden cloud above. Rumble! Golden lightning flashed in the cloud, forming a powerful force of thunder and lightning. They intertwined with each other and emitted a terrifying power. Soon, the golden cloud floated toward Morong Qingcheng. The thunder and lightning struck, making a terrifying sound. The entire void was covered by a sea of thunder, which was extremely terrifying. In the next moment, the golden cloud arrived above Morong Qingcheng. Suddenly, countless lightning bolts descended. The lightning bolts were too terrifying. They contained the power of a 4th-level venerable, and directly pierced through the void. Dozens of golden lightning bolts were as thick as buckets. They struck down fiercely, like a heavenly tribulation. Morong Qingqing shouted and waved her hand. The purple aura on her body quickly surged out, forming flames that filled the sky and swept upward. The purple flames filled the sky and the heat waves were terrifying. The flames illuminated the surroundings. The endless flames combined to form purple light pillars that collided with the golden lightning bolts that were descending rapidly. Boom! An earth-shattering explosion was heard. The two forces completely exploded, drowning the entire void. The aftermath of the energy turned into violent winds and lightning that swept in all directions. Immediately, the terrifying energy destroyed everything within 100 miles. Fortunately, Lin Xian had the defensive formation set up by the dark red divine dragon around him, which blocked the energy waves. Otherwise, he would have been in trouble. Seeing this scene, Yao Bin and the others in the distance were shocked, and their hearts beat wildly. The battle was too terrifying. It was not something they could interfere with at all. Jiang Yan and the others also frowned. They had originally planned to let Lin Xian and the gold-ranked beast fight. Then they would secretly intervene. However, the situation was completely different from what they had imagined. Therefore, they did not act rashly. They only watched quietly and waited for the right time. That was because they saw Lin Xian sitting there cross-legged. He did not seem to have any reaction to the intense battle. They thought that he must be preparing for something. I don't believe that you won't make a move. Tang Er snorted coldly. His face was gloomy as he continued to wait. In front of them, a terrifying energy exploded. Morong Qingqing quickly retreated like a fleeting shadow. Her face was slightly pale. It was obvious that fighting against the gold-ranked beast was a great challenge for her. However, her gaze was determined. In a flash, she stood in front of Lin Xian. Since Lin Xian believed in her, she would not let the gold-ranked beast get any closer until Lin Xian woke up. Opposite her, the gold-ranked beast was furious. It had completed its evolution and was now the overlord of the Demon Slayer world. Other than the other gold-ranked beasts, no one dared to fight against it. However, a little human girl dared to stand in front of it. Moreover, she had blocked its path time and time again. It could not tolerate this. It roared into the sky and its huge eyes were filled with hatred. It wanted nothing more than to tear the girl in front of it apart. In the next moment, the gold-ranked beast unleashed its terrifying combat strength again. A vast amount of energy surged forward. It was determined to get the pale gold demon core. Morong Qingqing also shouted. Her beautiful eyes revealed a trace of coldness. In the next moment, her jade-like hand shook and formed the purple mark from before. Overturning Sky Seal. A low voice was heard. Morong Qingqing quickly waved her hand. The purple palm print formed again and floated in the sky, emitting a hazy aura. 4 true dragons circled in the sky and spat out purple fog. They formed strange runes and fixed in the sky. The purple runes were very strange. They did not look like modern words. They should be words from ancient times. They floated in the sky and emitted a mysterious aura. 10,000 rays of purple light shone down. Chapter 965. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Purple light appeared and enveloped the gold-ranked beast. From afar, it looked like a purple energy barrier had enveloped the gold-ranked beast. Roar! The gold-ranked beast was enraged. It dragged its huge body and slammed into the purple light barrier. Every time it slammed into it, there would be an earth-shattering sound. Not only that, every time it slammed into the barrier, Morong Qingqing's face would turn paler. However, she still gritted her teeth and persevered. Seeing this, Jiang Yan and the others in the distance were stunned. They did not expect the beautiful girl to have such a method to seal the gold-ranked beast. If this method was used on them, no one would be able to escape. Thinking of this, Jiang Yan and the others had strange expressions. As the geniuses of the Hidden Dragon League, they had challenged the top 10 warriors on the mysterious sovereign leaderboard and succeeded. They were called the biggest dark horses. However, at this moment, compared to Morong Qingqing, they seemed pale and powerless.
Morong Qingcheng's ranking on the mysterious sovereign leaderboard was not high. She was only in the 50s. However, her strength was extremely terrifying. She was probably the biggest dark horse. Chi Hao was also shocked. Even if it were him, he would not be able to stop the gold-ranked beast. However, the girl was able to do this, which surprised him. At the same time, he was also amazed. Such a strange girl was definitely rare. Morong Qingcheng's performance shocked everyone. They even felt ashamed of their own inferiority. They stared at the battlefield with full attention. However, they soon revealed suspicious expressions. Morong Qingcheng's goal was very simple. She wanted to stop the gold-ranked beast from getting close to Lin Xian. However, they did not know what Lin Xian was doing. They only saw him sitting cross-legged with his eyes closed. However, they thought that he was preparing some ultimate move. After all, in a battle of this level, no matter how confident Lin Xian was, he would not dare to let Morong Qingcheng fight alone. Lin Xian naturally did not know what Jiang Yan, Chi Hao, and the others were guessing. At this moment, he was using all his strength to activate the 10,000 Beast Cauldron. However, this process was not simple. The 10,000 Beast Cauldron did not seem to be under his control at all, and wanted to escape on its own. However, Lin Xian didn't dare to do that. If someone recognized the 10,000 Beast Cauldron, it would be a huge joke. After all, had suffered the pursuit of countless people just because he possessed a fragment of an Earth-ranked treasure. And if someone were to find out that he possessed a complete Earth-ranked treasure, would that person immediately cut open his stomach and take out the myriad beast cauldron? At that time, even a true king would make a move. If someone of that level were to make a move, Lin Xian would have no chance of escaping. Therefore, no matter what, he would not expose the 10,000 Beast Cauldron. In the end, Lin Xian had no choice but to take out King Pillfeather's crystal skull and activate the 10,000 Beast Cauldron. At the same time, he said fiercely, "If it doesn't work, then get out of my body. I don't keep trash here." It was unknown whether it was the crystal skeleton or Lin Xian's threat, but the 10,000 Beast Cauldron once again trembled slightly. It seemed to move under the control of Lin Xian's soul force. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian was overjoyed. He once again poured more soul force into the 10,000 Beast Cauldron. Could he control the gold-ranked monster outside? Buzz! The black cauldron trembled slightly, as if it was responding to Lin Xian's words. Lin Xian was overjoyed. Although he didn't know if it was the cauldron's treasure spirit, it didn't matter. As long as he could control the gold-ranked monster, it would be fine. Ruffian Dragon. Set up a formation to cover the 10,000 Beast Cauldron, so that others won't be able to see through it. Lin Xian quickly said. Don't worry, no problem. The dark red dragon patted his chest and said. Then, he waved his dragon claws and quickly set up a spirit formation. In the next moment, Lin Xian crazily poured his soul force into the 10,000 Beast Cauldron. Then, the 10,000 Beast Cauldron emitted a black light, forming a strange energy that quickly rushed out. This time, the mysterious small sword didn't rush out of the 10,000 Beast Cauldron. Instead, the black light rushed out of the cauldron and formed a vague shadow of a black cauldron in the void. As soon as the black cauldron shadow appeared, it carried a terrifying aura that swept out in all directions. This aura came from an Earth-class treasure and couldn't be suppressed at all. Even Lin Xian's formation couldn't completely eliminate it. However, he didn't care about it now. As long as he could quickly kill the gold-ranked monster, no one would be able to discover his secret. He quickly opened his eyes. At the same time, the black cauldron above his head emitted an even darker light. A heart-palpitating energy rushed out and swept through heaven and earth. What is that thing? What a terrifying aura! When Jiang Yan, Chi Hao, and the others saw this scene, their hearts trembled and their pupils shrank. The aura was too terrifying. It was even more terrifying than the purple sky flipping seal that Morong Qingcheng had used. They didn't expect Lin Xian to have such a technique. It was really unexpected. In the distance, the gold-ranked monster also saw the blurry black cauldron and immediately felt uneasy. It roared crazily and quickly attacked the purple light curtain around it, trying to escape. At the same time, it developed a deep fear of the black cauldron
as if it had met its nemesis. It felt a fear that came from the bottom of its heart. Although it didn't know what it was, its instincts told it to destroy it. The gold-ranked monster roared crazily. The gold-ranked monster aura on its body surged, forming countless tentacles that quickly attacked forward. Morong Qingchen, on the other hand, yelled as she kept forming hand seals with both of her hands, once again strengthening the sealing effect of the purple light. At the back, Lin Xian's expression was solemn. He quickly stood up because he felt that controlling the Thousand Beast Cauldron consumed too much of his soul power. Even he couldn't support it for long. Damn it! Lin Xian cursed. He realized that although the Black Cauldron was terrifying, it also consumed a lot of soul power, like the Great Dragon Sword Soul. He probably wouldn't be much better after using it. It seemed that this thing could only be used as a trump card. Lin Xian sighed softly and then focused his gaze. Qingqing, that's enough. Let me do it. Okay. Morong Qingqing smiled and kept moving her hands. She removed the sky-flipping seal in front of her domain. At the same time, she floated to Lin Xian's side. In the next moment, she was extremely surprised. With a trace of surprise in her beautiful eyes, she looked at the black cauldron shadow above Lin Xian's head. What kind of power was this? Even she felt a trace of fear. This guy has so many secrets. Morong Qingqing tilted her head curiously, but then the corner of her mouth curled up into a smile. With the black cauldron, the gold-ranked monster would suffer a lot. In front, the gold-ranked monster roared to the sky. It had finally broken free from the purple seal and regained its freedom. Soon after, a ferocious glint appeared in its huge eyes. It stared at Lin Xian and Morong Qingqing, then charged toward them at a high speed. Chapter 966. Without the restraint of the purple cataclysmic seal, the gold-ranked beast was like a wild horse that had broken free of its reins. It charged towards Lin Xian quickly. This time, the gold-ranked beast was truly enraged. It used all of its strength and charged towards Su Ping like a golden meteor. Feeling the terrifying power, Jiang Yan and the others' eyelids twitched. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He quickly mobilized his soul power and poured it into the Black Thousand Beast Cauldron. In the next moment, the Black Thousand Beast Cauldron trembled. The black cauldron shadow above Lin Xian's head emitted a black light. Above it, strange beasts appeared and circled in the air. Bang! The Black Thousand Beast Cauldron spun and shot out a black light towards the gold-ranked beast. The light was very fast. It was like a black lightning bolt. In an instant, it was in front of the gold-ranked beast. In the next moment, it entered the gold-ranked beast's forehead. Suddenly, the gold-ranked beast's body trembled and stopped. Then it let out a painful roar. The roar was earth-shattering. It was like a demon's voice. It made one's scalp tingle. In front of everyone's shocked eyes, the gold-ranked beast's huge body fell to the ground. Countless waves of air rolled. A terrifying crater was formed on the ground. The gold-ranked beast rolled on the ground in pain. What's going on? What happened? Jiang Yan and the others were stunned. They only saw a black light enter the gold-ranked beast's body. Then it became like this. But this was too unbelievable. The gold-ranked beast was more terrifying than a fourth-rank honorable realm cultivator. Previously, even when Morong Qingqing used the cataclysmic seal, she could only fight it to a draw. She could not kill it. But now, a black light was causing the gold-ranked beast so much pain that it wanted to die. No one dared to believe it. But the truth was right in front of them. What was that thing? What did Lin Xian do? Jiang Yan and the others frowned. They quickly looked forward. However, the space around Lin Xian was distorted. It was very blurry. They could not see what was going on inside. Lin Xian secretly heaved a sigh of relief. He wiped the sweat off his forehead. At this moment, his face was a little pale. It was obvious that the attack just now had consumed a lot of his soul power. Fortunately, although the consumption was huge, the effect was very obvious. At the very least, the gold-ranked demonic beast seemed to have lost all its combat power and became extremely weak. At the same time, he was extremely shocked. Such a powerful demonic beast was actually killed by a black light. This Thousand Beast Cauldron was truly terrifying. He did not dare to imagine. If for real, the gold-ranked beast's body, and the beast's Lin Xian's. It seemed that it had become very weak, and could not hold on for much longer. Morong Qingchen was surprised as well. Her beautiful eyes were filled with disbelief. She did not expect Lin Xian to be able to wound a gold-ranked demonic beast with only one attack. However, looking at Lin Xian's pale face and sweaty forehead, Morong Qingchen sighed slightly. She then moved her feet and asked softly, "Ans, okay, but hurry up. I can't hold on much longer." Lin Xian was a little weak. If his soul power is exhausted, he will not be able to control the Thousand Beasts Cauldron. Then the gold-ranked beast will be free and recover. So, now is the best time to kill the gold-ranked beast. Morong Qingchen nodded. Then, like a purple phantom, she floated forward. In the distance, Jiang Yan and the others saw this. Their hearts beat wildly. In an instant, they guessed what Morong Qingchen and Lin Xian were thinking. Then their hearts trembled violently. Their eyes were burning with passion. Kill a gold-ranked beast. This was the best time to kill a gold-ranked beast. Because once the gold-ranked beast is free, it will become an undefeatable existence. But now the beast was weak. It was like a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. If they could kill a gold-ranked beast, they would gain both fame and fortune. Thinking of this, Jiang Yan, Tang Er, and the others' breathing quickened. Their eyes were as red as a rabbit's as they stared straight ahead. Although they were afraid of Lin Xian's ultimate move and Morong Qingchen's combat power was unparalleled, both of them were exhausted. It was hard to say how much of their combat power they could use. Moreover, a gold-ranked beast was too tempting. They could not resist. Therefore, without any hesitation, Jiang Yan and Tang Er instantly made their decision. They led more than 10 elite disciples of the Hidden Dragon League and quickly soared into the air, charging forward. Like sharp swords, they tore through the void. Their speed was extremely fast. On another mountain, Qihao's brows were tightly knitted together. There was a trace of struggle in his eyes. Facing such temptation, he couldn't resist it. However, Morong Qingchen's sky seal and Lin Xian's jet black light had already shocked him too much. If both of them were to use that kind of attack again, he wouldn't be able to resist at all. So he did not act immediately. Instead, he continued to wait. He had his own plan. He planned to let Jiang Yan lead the Hidden Dragon League to attack first. If the other party forced Lin Xian and Tang Er into a corner, they would definitely counterattack. At that time, the two of them might use their ultimate move again. That ultimate move could not be used more than once. So as long as the other party used it again, he would immediately act and kill them. Thinking of this, Qihao suppressed the excitement in his heart and waited quietly. In the sky, the dozens of bright lights finally caught the attention of Lin Xian and Morong Qingchen. They quickly realized that those lights were Jiang Yan and the others from the Hidden Dragon League. This group of shameless bastards. They were indeed hiding here. Lin Xian's face darkened. He snorted coldly. He did not have a good impression of these people. However, the other party's actions still surprised him. They had grasped the timing too well. However, Lin Xian was not worried at all. He even sneered. He had another trump card in his hand. If the other party really dared to attack, he would definitely teach them a bloody lesson. Morong Qingchen also frowned. The other party was too despicable. They did not act earlier, and only appeared when it was time to reap the rewards. It was obvious that they wanted to take advantage of the situation. However, this was something that they had worked hard to obtain. How could they give it away? The dozens of lights in the sky were very fast. In an instant, they were near the gold-ranked demonic beast. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. In the next moment, Jiang Yan, Tang Er, and the others appeared.